Scorpio, thank you so much for tuning in. Love and light to all here. Welcome to your very personal March 2020. This is a daily predictions reading, and I haven't done this series until this point, so it's quite a new little creation here. We'll call it that. And in that same vein of light, we've got the Three of Wands here sitting in the face of the stack for you, Scorpio. I'm hearing Sagittarius. Now, we've got to be real honest here, Scorpio. Okay. You came through very, very strongly in the Sagittarius reading as well as the Pisces reading. Now, what I'm getting right off the bat, okay, we're going to get into your personal spread. We'll be pulling cards for each of the days throughout the month, the entirety of the month, the entire month of March 2020 for Scorpio. But before we do, there's something that I've really got to be quite honest with here. Okay. Whatever does come through, right, at the end of the day, I'm hearing it in this way. I'm hearing you do only what it is, right, that you feel, okay, ready to create the space for. In other words, nothing exists until you create it. I'm hearing it in this way, Scorpio. For a number of you, there's been a lot, I'm hearing there's a lot of, and there has been, perhaps, there have been a lot of layers, let's say, to the space, to the, also vision that you hold of what it is that you create. And apply each situation as you do. Be this a partnership. Be this someone who you're really, really interested in. Also, maybe even just getting to know better, right? Whatever the circumstance may be for you. Be this even a project that you really want to get off the ground. Be it an aspect of your being that you really want to bring light to. Whatever it is for you, Scorpio, right? At the end of the day, I'm hearing it's your story. No one knows how to tell it, right? No one will also be the one who comes to the stage, takes you by the hand, and tells you it's time, right? To tell it out. Honestly, no one can also tell when you're being honest in that space of telling it. So, saying this way, Scorpio, you feel perhaps you're at the advent of a big surprise. Be that with yourself in terms of being really real of your intention. I'm hearing being really real with also what you know to be as your vision, also your knowingness of your potential. You feel perhaps for a number of you that there are a number of gifts that it's like, I can go no longer, okay, sort of like predicting the future. I have to be the one who promises that I will be the one to promote that vision and that image of what I know to be my potential, okay? Not just in theory and not just in thought, but in practice and in also provoking that world, right? So it's one thing to stimulate. I'm hearing the storyline of a certain focus, I'm hearing, of the future. It's another thing to actually, I'm hearing, merge with it. For a number of you, let's say it in this way, I'm hearing there's no going back. You realize that the past also cannot be undone. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. Take it to a Scorpio. Does the past exist? What is the past? What is the present? What is the future? What is time? But a talk that we hold with the heat of the moment, which is the passion that actually is the motivator that moves forward through, I'm hearing, the recollection of memories that we release. I'm hearing in light of the light that we live through to learn. I'm hearing to lead out our dreams with. For a number of you, in other words, Scorpio, you realize that there's no point in meditating on the past. Okay, there's no point in reflecting necessarily. And I know Scorpio, right? You got a lot of Scorpio, a lot of Pluto, okay, a lot of Mars, even energy. There could really be that, perhaps that tendency to like reflect and ruminate and even indulge in that space at times. But I'm seeing that at this point, there is this feeling of like resurgence of even the happiness that you sort of derive from taking action on what it is that you actually do truly feel. So in some shape or form or another, Capricorn, I'm hearing Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Leo, I'm hearing as well. There's something that you feel you've left out of your story, and I have to say it in that way. And it's funny because in the Sagittarius reading, boy, did you come through. Okay, as a prominent archetype, and we've all got Scorpio some in our chart, even if it may not be or something, whatever. But for a number of you, right, there is perhaps this sort of story that you feel you've sort of felt, but that you haven't formed. I'm hearing the creation to a company. In other words, it's like, well, if I even, let's say, believe in this cause, let's say that I feel like I go home, let's say for a number of you, every day I work, go to work, come home. When I come home, honking right there for you, Scorpio. I really start to create in that moment. That's when I realize how much it is that I really live for, what it is that I find in my visionary state, not what I create at present, but what it is that I focus on of the future. In other words, for a number of you, in addition, Scorpio, you're realizing that life is a cycle. Okay, and that nothing is really real until you actually relate to it as that. This exact energy came through in the Scorpio, in the Sagittarius reading. Take it as you will. Maybe you were watching that reading. Take it as you will. For a number of you, there's something that you realize you want to represent, and you realize no one, again, I'm hearing, is going to take the rope. I'm hearing that you are sort of jumping with right now and tell you that, I'm hearing, it's your responsibility to hold it a little tighter. I'm hearing to jump a little faster and to even, I'm hearing, release it at times when you feel that you need to do so. In other words, if you feel like you need to redefine your stage, Scorpio, no one, I'm hearing, in your audience will realize that for you to the degree and level that causes you to release, I'm hearing, what has been considered as realistic to that point for you. Ooh, Scorpio. Okay. This is going to be a fun reading, Scorpio. We just went through 2 hours with Sagittarius. All right, no problem. We will be, I'm hearing, sitting here for you in the room, maybe with a box of tissues. It may be because I'm sick. It may not be. Okay, the moon. Scorpio. When you enter into a Scorpio reading and you begin with the card of Scorpio, that's when we know, I'm hearing, what we're talking about here is, I'm hearing real. I'm hearing, no, this is not Scorpio on Rewind. Okay, Scorpio talking about the lines that they wrote and they rewrote. This is Scorpio talking about, I'm hearing, the lines that they write right now. What is simply a reactive element. Now, for better or for worse, take it as you will, what is better and what is worse? Isn't it always reflective, I'm hearing as well, representative of one's perspective? For a number of you, it's like, who's to say that this is a good thing or a bad thing, right? What is real, what is reactive? For a number of you, there's something that you're actually representing, and it's real for you in the moment that it is, perhaps, and it's real in the way that it is for you in that moment as well. So maybe for a number of you, there's a reaction. You're having a reaction or something that you realize, like, there's no way I can also hold the remote in my hand and say that I don't want to see. I'm hearing that one television show and that I'm not gonna start watching it. Interesting. So for a number of you, like, let's say it this way as well, you realize you have some sort of power and control. It is your will, I'm hearing as well, to discuss. Ooh. Did we say discuss? Scorpio. Second card here out for you is the Justice card. Wow. So we're talking about making something very clear. And it's funny because the moon speaks of cycles. While the moon speaks of cycles, the Justice card speaks of simplistic. I'm hearing serendipity. Wow. I'm hearing in the Justice card for you, Scorpio. It's like what we realize actually has a story. We realize also has a story to be told of it. Interesting. We could say that, in some way, cycles resemble stories. They speak of stories. Justice card, you're speaking of also the written word. I'm hearing the process of defining that space, also of what may be reflective and also somewhat cyclical. Interesting. Like, it's funny because we think of the Justice card, it actually when we think about literally, what is literal? It could speak of statements that we make. It could speak also of contracts that we lay out. What are those really for, right? But to set the stage for, okay, the story that we be told out over time. So there's something that for a number of you, you're really actually, you're letting go of even. I'm hearing it in that way, like what has been a rope that just has been like dangling, you're like, that's it. Like, I'm gonna recognize it as that, as a rope. I'm gonna rekindle the connection, I'm hearing as well. I'm hearing resist. Okay. I'm hearing also the tendency, the habit to replace what it is that I really feel with something that I really don't. So for a number of you, maybe this was a matter of revelation of what the reality of the situation really is. Like, let's say that you've been operating, and we're going to get more information on this, and then we'll move into a pick a stack card reading as well to see what further elements might be at play. I know some of you are like, holy moly, pick a stack? Oh, this feels like it was the full reading, right? Okay, take it as you will. Maybe this is how you might be feeling, like someone may be feeling in this space of revelation, but if you're dealing with the Scorpio, get ready. I'm hearing that as well. If you're a cross-watcher and you're dealing with a Scorpio, get ready. Okay, I'm hearing it's a story. It's not a lifetime film. It is a past lifetime, current lifetime, future lifetime film that we are really reviewing here. I'm hearing as well, it could be contracts here, soul contracts, and that might be what is coming through for review, even recognition. Now, for a number of you though as well, somebody realizes, well, the cycle will continue unless I stop it. Okay, no one's, again, going to step into the room and tell the story that it cannot go on. The story will continue and continue and continue and continue. Romeo will come back from the dead, very specifically, to meet Juliet once more. They will continue to communicate in their convoluted ways until they both call it quits, until they both tell each other that they want to actually create, okay, the next reality TV show together. I'm hearing that specifically with the Justice card and the Moon. It's like, why do we need to keep spinning? Also, I'm hearing the dial here. It's like, when we could actually, I'm hearing, open the door and dig, I'm hearing up the jewels, I'm hearing to the crown that we actually called, I'm hearing ourselves out on in the last life. Holy shit, Scorpio. Are you sure you're ready for March? I think I'm gonna put the deck down. Okay, yo, come on. Okay, Scorpio, you left this the Pisces season. Scorpio. We moved through your season, okay? Okay, I'm hearing, no, are you kidding me? I'm stoked. I'm ready to stop the cycle. Okay, like, someone's like, that's it. They're going in a full on, I'm hearing surgery here with the Moon and the Justice card. Somebody's like, they're excavating their past life. They're like, I'm so ready for this. I'm hearing, I'm ready. And it's like, do I have a plan? I don't. I just have a promise, and it's to find the bottom, I'm hearing, of the barrel of truth. Even if all I find is a little itty bitty. I'm hearing beetle, wow, in its cocoon, in its shell. So for a number of you, it's like, you feel like there's an answer to something as well. For a number of you, though, as well, you feel like you belong here somewhere with even someone. For a number of you, feel like there's something here, and you're like, I can't just let this go. I'm hearing that as well. You feel like we belong together. And if I balance on the beam in a way that makes me look a lot heavier than I really am, that's gonna make everything else also throw itself off the scale. I'm hearing like something's gonna be, okay, someone wants to be honest. Yeah, big time. Now, Scorpio, this is a real question. Why did you wait, actually, until Pisces season? I'm hearing this specifically. That may be something that someone saw. Maybe this is what you fear, being questioned. You're like, oh man, I know they're gonna have a ton of it. They're gonna ask me. They're like, why did you wait also to make this proposal in March? I'm hearing that specifically. I don't know why that's such a focus. Like, why this month may be such a focus for you, Scorpio. Okay, why the month itself may be such a focus. We have a very strong focus on number 3. We have the 3 of Pentacles in the center of the first week for you of March. We've got the Empress, the 3rd card in the Major Arcana. I'm hearing 33. I'm hearing angels in the room at that time. 3 of Wands. Whoa, somebody definitely know with the Pisces. We got the Hangman at the base of 3 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, there's no turning back. Oh, if you're hold on. If you are a Pisces and you're cross watching, I'm cross watching. I'm technically a Pisces, but I'm gonna let Scorpio my chart. Okay, I don't know, for a number of you, maybe there is a cross watcher Pisces with a lot of Scorpio in their chart. They're cross watching, but they don't want to call it that. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, dusting the books off the shelf now. I don't know what that's alluding to. Maybe someone was like, I'm gonna let go of this. I'm gonna let go of this whole history thing with this voodoo vulture. I don't know. I'm hearing vacation that turned into a complete I'm hearing Velma meets, I'm hearing Patrick Swayze thing that happened on, I'm hearing on the November night train there. I don't know what, like somebody had some sort of they had some sort of secret encounter here. I don't know what is considered secret, okay? But someone had some sort of Oval Office meeting, I'm hearing as well, that went down a little bit further than the underwear line. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. I'm not claiming anything, but anyways, the Ace of Pentacles. Now, something was quite obvious to a certain person in the room at the time. Something was really, really actually quite real to them as well. Holy moly. Okay, I don't know what this is alluding to, but I'm hearing hailing. I'm hearing Haley with the Hanged Man reverse. I'm hearing hailing. I'm hearing rape. I don't know. Well, hopefully not, Scorpio. But the Empress in reverse, Haman in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles upright, Three of Wands upright. Somebody was resisting something. Someone felt very troubled, okay, about something here when it came to communicating about whatever the space was, perhaps. Now, it had to do with the table and the way that it went round and round. Maybe someone was like, they felt like something was talked about, but like indirectly. And I'm seeing this actually happened, I'm hearing at the disco event on Friday night. I don't know what, that's a Looney Tune, take it as you will, but something was maybe like open-ended. It was like, it wasn't really defined. It was like, I couldn't really make out what they were saying. It wasn't really like yes or no. It wasn't really like in or out. It wasn't really like on or off. It wasn't really like honest or dishonest. It was just like left open, and then we opened it. And then it was kind of like obvious at that point that things were awkward, I'm hearing as well. So, okay. So for a number of you, Scorpio, that could be what someone is actually communicating. For a number of you, somebody is testifying something. I don't know what that's alluding to. Somebody feels like they left something out of a clause and they really felt rather creepy about it. Yeah, here we go. Death card reverse, the Father of Pentacles upright, looking in the future. Now, this very similar energy came through in the Sagittarius reading. We're in the second week here, but we didn't announce that. Okay, so I started pulling cards for the second week, didn't announce that. So for a number of you, this is a process that someone feels like, it's like they have a few things that they feel they need to address. I'm hearing it's a little bit tricky to address. Whoa. Holy moly. Scorpio, I could have sworn, like, I looked at the Three of Wands with the Empress, and I saw, like, it was like a glow stick light. Like, I don't know, it's like a glowing lamp on the Three of Wands with the Empress. Like, something just, like, lit up. I don't know, maybe this is even, like, an aura. Someone saw someone's aura, something about colors. Anyways, it's like, they're like, hold on, are they real? Hold on. Are they raising their flashlight at me? I'm seeing like neon colors here, Scorpio. Holy moly. I'm seeing someone in a room and they're like, I'm seeing colors. Like, they're looking at someone and they're thinking, you don't get it. Like, I was seeing fuchsia, pink, purple. I'm hearing around your, I'm hearing your third eye. I'm hearing portal of awareness. Like, you didn't notice what I was also not looking at in that moment. What? Okay, so somebody felt, I'm hearing, I almost called the police. I'm hearing that specifically, like, even on my own panty line. Hold on, what? Scorpio? Okay, what? Hold on. Somebody felt like something wasn't actually what it was. What? No. Hold on. They didn't know. Okay, hold on. They didn't expel. I'm hearing, so raise your glass, da 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 da, with another hidey, dirty little freaks. What's that song by, is that Pink? No, da 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 da. Ace of Swords. Another right, dirty little freaks. It's like right in all the wrong places. Was that the, okay. Somebody felt like something was like even a little bit, they felt like they were, I hate to say it this way, Scorpio, but somebody felt like they were raped, or there was resistance, and they were like, this could be like, they felt like they maybe raced, may not be taken as well, but it's like they felt like they were raced, okay, into like a room to replace something with something else. I don't know what that's alluding to. They're like, we were just talking, and then he like raised his eyebrow at me, and he gave me like a frank little smile, and told me that I was, I'm hearing smiling back. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's clear that. I'm hearing smiling like a little girl. Okay, hold on. I'm hearing Gilfred. Hold on. Girl? I'm hearing girl power. Like, someone crossed the line here, as they may have felt it, or they felt like someone crossed the line. It could be them with themselves as well, where it's like, they're like, hey, I totally was flirting, but like, not with my, like, my formal self at that moment. Maybe somebody was actually under the influence. Hold on. They're like, yeah, I was not able to focus. 10 of Cups in reverse. Ace of Swords upright. Lovers in reverse. They're like, I don't remember shit of that night. I'm hearing that. I don't know what the Scorpio. The Hangman reverse. I'm hearing I just led them into the room like that, and then we just like we levitated. I'm hearing that as well. So maybe for a number of you felt like there was an experience you had. It may not be like that somebody pushed you, let's say, what is that? Consider, take it as you will. I'm seeing somebody with like a blue hat. Okay, anyways, it's like, it was not that someone actually like got you to do something that you didn't want to do necessarily, but maybe for a number of you, you felt like there was pressure on an energetic level or spiritually. You're like, I need to experience this. But then on one hand, you're like, but what am I doing? I'm hearing logically. Now, what is logic? Take it as you will. And how does it challenge the paradigm of intuition? I don't know what that's alluding to. Take it as you will. For a number of you, there was something that you're just like, I'm hearing it was something secretive even. You're like, well, I didn't really want to do that. Okay? I'm hearing that specifically. I didn't want to start that also so soon. I'm hearing that specifically. Now, for a number of you, someone felt like they needed to stop something, but they also couldn't. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. I'm hearing there were angels in the room. I'm hearing activating the light body. Wow, for the switch to happen. I don't know what that's like, Scorpio. Feeling pressure in the third eye. Let's clear that. So somebody actually, I'm hearing, is coming home. Someone had an experience. This is for a number of you. All right, plain and simple. They felt like there was something that actually, I'm hearing Cleopatra. I'm not sure what that's going to. Somebody felt like they were guided to have an experience with someone and there was no explanation to it. They felt like it's not that it was good. It's not that it was like, I'm hearing a good thing to do maybe as well. I don't know what. That's not me talking, Scorpio. I'm just channeling what's going through, right? But for a number of you, okay, I'm not judging the situation, right? Saying that way. But for a number of you, maybe you felt like, well, it wasn't like I looked at the situation and said, this is the right thing to do or that this is a good thing to do. I just felt like I was feeling guided in that moment to move in that direction. I'm seeing for a number of you actually saw like lights. Now, for a number of you, it's weird because look, I've been using this tissue throughout all the readings, especially such yours. Ooh, that was an emotional reading. Oh my goodness. Boy, was that an emotional reading. And, yeah, the tissue was, like, crusted. Now, I am not to gross you out, Scorpio. Are you gonna Scorpio really be grossed out, let's be honest. Scorpio likes to know, okay, that the tears are real. They got a kick out of that. All right. They got a freaking kick out of that. And you know you do, Scorpio. All right. I love it when they talk real talk. Ooh, and the tears, even better. Oh, that's how I know it's real. And I'm a Scorpio. I like what's real. And I like to know. I like to feel like, I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I don't. Do I want to see you cry? No way. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want to see you cry. No way. Come here, teddy bear. Let me just do. I don't know what that's going to. Anyways, let me just do. I don't know what that's about. Okay, Scorpio. Somebody that may be having a little bit of a talk. Okay, you're getting the tension out, and there are tears involved. Maybe someone's like, they're secretly feeling like, that relieves their tension a little bit because they're like, well, that means that they're telling the truth. I'm hearing that. I don't know. Okay. Scorpio. You got a lot of Scorpio in your chart, right? They're not a surprise to know that at times you feel like you need to test people, right? Are they really being real honest? I want to know. They're telling me that they're being real, but, I'm hearing the hips don't lie. The body doesn't lie. The reactions don't lie. Okay. Are they really crying? Yeah, those are real tears. Okay. They're really sorry, aren't they? I'm hearing, well, not sorry, hold on. I'm hearing they're serious. Hold on. They're sorry. I'm hearing that as well. 8 of Cups in reverse. Hold on. Yeah, we were saying, let's not get off track here, right? Tangent. With the little tissue here. So this actually, like, it hardened. I don't know. Okay. Scorpio. The real tears. Okay. Yeah, really, whatever. It hardened. Okay. Tissue, okay, it's real tissue and it's real tears. I don't know, Scorpio. Anyways, chill, bro. I don't know what that's about. Anywho, okay. So, for those of you who watch the Sagittarius reading, you're like not questioning that, okay? You saw, especially those of you who watch the full 9 yards of that Sagittarius reading, you know how real that was. Right, Scorpio. I don't know why we're proving that. Anyways, tissue is like getting all crusted and hard. And so, the feeling I'm getting for a number of you is like, there was some sort of encounter, and there was a very strong feeling of remorse. There's no crying, I'm hearing, without the baby there. I'm hearing as well. I don't know what that's alluding to. Like, someone felt, truly, they branded, okay, an identity that was not something that they actually wanted to call out. Like, they're like, I don't know, I don't want to say that was something that I created. I'm hearing as well. For number, I'm hearing da 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 da. What's that song? Is it Who do you think you are? What's that song? Da 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 da. It's called da 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 da. Okay, starts with a D. Anywho, no, I think it's by AWOL. Is it by AWOL? Anyway, someone truly, they were like, I'm hearing they had a mistress. I don't know what that's alluding to. I'm hearing they had a Mr. right next to the Mrs. on the official statement as well. I don't know. Hold on. They had a Mrs. next to the Mrs. I don't know what that's about. They're like, I didn't tell them that I was like part of another story, and there was a hook. I don't know what that's about. I'm hearing I'm a person without a hood on, or I'm hearing right now. Hold on, what's that about? They also Whew, okay. They okay, someone feels like perhaps they created this like this identity that now has a crisis, but it's not even their real identity. Yikes. Okay. Ooh, Scorpio, what's that about? No judgment, okay? And it could be with you. It's like, I'm totally creating this world that I actually don't believe in, and I feel like I belong in it, but I know that I don't, but I do. Because I kind of am still participating in it, at least ideologically. What's that about? I'm hearing system of growth. Systemic, I'm hearing systemic influence with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm not sure what those are. 8 of Cups in reverse, Death card in reverse. For Nuri, this is actually something that it like started out as a joke, but then it became something very real. Perhaps not as really necessarily, well, for a number of you, it was something that you're like, well, I'm just gonna like jump in bed with them. I'm gonna go for a swim after, and then I'm gonna wake up, okay, with my jersey on. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Lo and behold, though, Scorpio, someone jumped in the wrong pool. They realized that the rain doesn't really make them sink or swim either, and that they're actually now stuck. I'm hearing in the pot of gold that they are not really ready. I'm hearing to reveal as well. I don't know. I'm seeing someone like they won some actual like prize. It's weird, Scorpio. They were playing something, they're like, I'm not gonna win. Maybe they're gambling, and then all of a sudden, like, holy shit, I'm a freaking millionaire! But not of $1 million, of $1 billion, and that makes me a huge target now. Now. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but somebody's like, they're petting their little, I'm hearing their little GIMP image. I don't know what that's about. Of their goodwill character that they have painted out. I don't know what. Like, this is my portrait. This is my reputation as well. I'm hearing Priscilla. Okay, Priscilla coming through again, honey. You come through in almost every reading. That's when we know it's an authentic, true bred alchemy reading when Priscilla comes through. All right. Someone mentioned actually they're like, maybe that's your spirit guide. All right. Maybe an idea comes over here. All right. Yeah, true. Anyways, for a number of you, there's something that is it's a little suspicious, maybe. Well, let's backtrack. Let's get back to that little character here that we have carved out in the public doorway that we present ourselves through. I don't know what that's about. Somebody's like, holy shit. They're like, I have this whole life that I live, that I leave. I'm hearing also every now and then, and that I realize doesn't leave me just because I do. Scorpio, to say it in this way, this is going to be you with you, where you realize, I don't want what I live. I want what I love. For a number of you, this is your career. You realize that you've actually maybe like even succeeded through some, or you're actually pretty successful, perhaps for a number of you, in some industry, but then you realize you're like, this is not really real. I'm hearing that as well. You're like, none of the show and tell objects that I'm holding up in front of the classroom right now mean anything for the classroom of my higher learning, even spiritually, okay? All these accolades, who the heck approved of this? I'm hearing as well, like, it's not something that I appreciate. For a number of you, this is something that you feel, it's like, and people might not understand it. Maybe you come through this, you're like, maybe you tell like one of your friends or one of your, I'm hearing good pals, your buddies. You're like, technically I have like this wonderful marriage. I'm hearing as well, technically I have. Not for everyone, all right? Take it as you will. Technically I have, Gertrude on my side here. Technically I have this other good boy, I'm hearing, playership mentality. Maybe for a number of you, like, this is simply like an industry that you're very successful in, and you're like, well, I'm good at what I do, and I know that I'm good at that, whatever. It could even be like a degree that you hold and you're like, well, technically I'm like perfect at it. I'm hearing as well, or that's how some people may view you. Now, I was saying you turn in this room, I'm hearing Scorpio, Pisces. You turn in this room, I'm hearing Capricorn as well, and you realize that's not my passion though. It's not only that as well. Maybe it's like, well, it's good. For who though, right? I mean, maybe someone stamped my pass and said, hey, you've made it. You're successful. You're done. You don't need to, study? Start a new what do you mean? No. You could retire. You could just throw in the towel, baby. I mean, you could throw in the rope and just rewind the tape and watch it all over again. I'm hearing you're done. You could retire. I'm hearing from that routine. You could be making money. Just let it sail on. I'm hearing sail on. What's that song again coming through? And it's like, but someone's like, they realize like, this is so-called success is not real unless I really feel real in it. Wow. So that's something that it's like, well, if I'm just on the big screen, or if I feel like I'm just cruising through life and I'm technically successful and I've made a name for myself, whatever else, if I don't feel like I'm really also advocating my history here, I'm hearing my story, I'm hearing the lines that I've written but that I haven't really read out, I don't feel like myself. I'm hearing, and I don't feel like I'm showing up. So for my potential, for a number of you, it's on an emotional level. You feel like for a number of you, maybe you feel like you've actually, I don't want to say the Scorpio, but you feel like you've actually, I don't want to say cheated the system. I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but maybe you feel this is you with you, where you're like, okay, I am technically home. The home is a mansion. I'm hearing it's beautiful. I'm hearing it has flowers that bloom. Okay. It has bathrooms made of marble. I'm hearing cellars filled with wine. Technically, I'm hearing it's everything and more that I'm hearing a superstar could dream of. I'm hearing as well. That doesn't mean that it's my star that I wish on. I'm hearing I'm hearing go home and rewrite my own novel. Wow. For me, it's like, I'm seeing someone who's super successful, and they're like wishing, they look up at the stars, they remove themselves from that space, at least momentarily, even if momentarily, look through the window, out the glass. I'm hearing of the pane. Wow. I'm hearing of the window, take it as you will, and they're like, what I want, I'm hearing this is not what I want. I'm hearing that specifically. I'm hearing, I want love. I'm hearing that, the star coming through, and I'm hearing like gates open right there. So for a number of you, You got the Six of Cups in reverse, mirroring the star upright. For a number, you let something go as you might feel it. World coming through, mirroring the star. Perhaps you let something go back in, I'm hearing, 09. I'm hearing Reno. Reno? Okay, I don't know what that's alluding to, but you let something kind of also, like, slip from between your fingers. I'm hearing in that way, Scorpio. You realize that, I'm hearing sand doesn't build castles, right? I'm hearing after all. And you recognized, I'm hearing that what's honest, I'm hearing must be tried and true, to say that what it is that you really want, you must be willing, I'm hearing, to approve the message of, even if it just means I want it. I can't prove it. I can't also technically promote it, I'm hearing, in any kind of way, but I just believe in it, I feel it, and I want it, and that's enough for me to say it in that way as well. Saying that is like the pure intention of vulnerability, of desire, of wanting something. Now, for a number of you, Scorpio, the start of that conversation got real quicksand on you. I'm hearing specifically, maybe you felt like, it could be you with another, it could be absolutely mutual, reflective. Someone felt like, holy moly, I think if I really stick around, I'm hearing, and write the book out like this, I will be roped in, I'm hearing, to a reality that I'm not ready for, to be myself in. Wow. And then it's funny because I'm seeing that amidst that shift, whatever the world is, whatever the shelf is that you actually do land on, you realize is not home for you. I'm not sure what, not judging anything. Scorpio, just chill. Let's go through in general reading as well. Got 3, 6, 3, 6 right there on the clock. I was going to say 3, 6, and then we got 3, 6 again. So got 9, 9, reducing down to 18, reducing down to 9, 3, 6, 9. Multiples of 3. For a number of you, Scorpion, we entered in, right, with the 3 of Pentacles, the Empress, the 3 of Wands, as well as a focus. You got the 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords in reverse, leading you out with the Father of Pentacles in the second week. You've got as well the 9 of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing rags to riches story. I don't know what that's only do for a number. You have a life of perfection, as it may plain as simple. Oh, let's set the cards down. Oh, yeah. Faced by the devil. This stack that I had in my hand, faced by the devil. For a number of you, you can, like, walk into any room and replace, I'm hearing, all the chairs with new wish list items. I don't know what. You're like, technically, I can do that. For a number of you, though, I'm hearing, I don't care if, honestly, I'm hearing all of the audience is captivated by what I can do. Because if the one thing that I'm doing or not doing is what I don't want to do, I'm hearing as well, I don't feel like I'm doing anything at all. So in a way, in a sense, Scorpio, and not for everyone, take it as you will, there's something that you feel is actually at stake. And it's not something that anyone else would consider to be at stake technically or necessarily. What's at stake, Scorpio, is, I'm hearing, your story, the Father of Wands upright. And that is revealed by way of the tension that's released of your passion, right? Passion paints an awfully different picture than does, I'm hearing, so-called perfect, right? For a number of you, it's like, I'm perfect at this, and I can be perfect at this, and I will be perfect at this. But will that mean that I am, I'm hearing, passionate about that painting that I paint? I don't care, right? If the lyrics technically speak of love. I don't really care if everyone says as well that the story makes sense technically, right? People, again, can look at your life and say, wow, you're a star, Scorpio. Meanwhile, you're looking in the sky at a real star and telling yourself, that's my real wish. That's really my welcome home message. And right here, right now, I don't feel that way. I mean, I don't feel like I am home. So for a number of you, right, it's like this, Scorpio, you know, you could technically, like, walk into, again, like, it's just coming through a mansion, right? I'm hearing you could have, like, not 4, 5, 6 walls, technically, including the ceiling and the floor. You could have 24, 25, 26, right? You could have a number of, I'm hearing, levels as well, dimensions through which you feel you've earned also that space. I don't know what, I'm hearing that title as well. You have accolades, experiences that you feel like technically are, like, very impressive, and they herald a lot of attention, actually, publicly. perhaps your way. This is for a number of you, perhaps specifically about big time. You are in the public light with a star coming through as well. It may not be literal, but take it as you will. Take it as you will. All right. You might know that your work actually holds an incredible influence, and again, it may not be like something that I'm hearing it's on LinkedIn. Don't worry. I don't know. That's only okay. Two of Swords and the Six of Wands reverse. Like, whoever's in that industry, like, knows what's up, if you know what I mean. Okay, anyways, let's clear it. Scorpio. Why are we so funny? It's like, well, on one hand I want to clear that, you know, but then I keep calling it like real impressive as well, and that makes me feel like I crawl back into that cage that I cage myself in. Know what I mean? All right. Anyways, so Scorpio, so much love to you. I just want to like blow you a kiss. I don't know why. Anyways, the Emperor coming through. Whoa, Scorpio, what's up with that? What's up with that? Hold on. So I'm hearing okay, someone's played a little game. I'm hearing say a little prayer for you. Like, so okay, this came through in Sagittarius reading. Like, someone knows. It's funny. I'm seeing someone knows what they want. They're even like, I'm seeing someone stalking something, maybe someone, someplace far off yonder. They call it somewhere far off yonder. They're like, over there is where I want to be. But then it's like, but they're stalking it. They know that that's not going to take them, right, to the train that takes them to the stop that they need to get off of to arrive at the lev of the land that I'm hearing they truly feel they will live through. Anyways, Scorpio, keep it light. We're in Pisces season. All right, playful little Pisces. Ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Let's jump around. All right. Let's dream. Daughter of Stars. No, but this is now the time, Scorpio. No. I'm here. Take the razor blade out. I'm hearing, please. Is the balloon really, really, really? Okay. Going to resemble, I'm hearing represent the pride that we feel. Okay. When we relate to what it is that we really love, right? It's like, I'm hearing that specifically, Scorpio. I know it's a bit abstract, perhaps we're in a review, but I'm hearing, love me like you do, la la, love me like you do, touch me like you do. I don't know if I'm making that up, but Scorpio, somebody wants, they want also to look, I'm hearing, at love. They don't want to look for it as well. And they know that that's actually quite impossible. You don't, right, look for love. And the moment that you're ready for it, you find it. Because you feel it as well, Scorpio, right? There are plenty of circumstances where perhaps you felt love, right? And it was a matter of admitting that feeling into your space. So take it as you will. I got a lot of Scorpio in my chart. All right, take it as you will. But maybe to say that it was a matter of vulnerability with yourself. Not necessarily with another, but with yourself. It's like, well, don't get me wrong, Cheryl. I love the way that your shampoo smells. Your hair is beautiful. You're a wonderful woman. I'm hearing that as well. I don't know what that's only to, but I'm just a little late to my own party. Okay? I keep popping my own balloons. Okay, Cheryl, I'm also not stupid. Okay, I don't know what that's about. So maybe someone, they bob in and out, okay, of their own wave there. I don't know what that, they're on one hand, they're like, I'm so real. I'm hearing that song came through it was in the Pisces reading, the Gemini reading. 'Cause I'm real, what you see is what you get. Isn't that by J-Lo? Old song. I haven't heard that in quite some time. Yeah, it's like, on one hand, they're like, I'm too real. Okay. With the Emperor Pride. You guys, like, real is right here, right now, and it rides on, these Hot Wheels here, and I've got them. I don't know what that's about. Maybe for a number of you, somebody has this tendency to, like, show off a little bit, or, like, have this, like, a little bit of, like, a narcissistic tendency. I don't know, take it as you will, what's narcissistic, but, this is maybe with themselves as well, where, like, on one hand, they're, like, they hype their life up even, or they feel like, I'm super successful! Oh! I hear my own echo. Yeah, I keep hearing it. I still hear it. Yeah, I still hear it. Like, I don't know what that's alluding to, but they, like, call this out. Maybe they, like, admire their work in some way. They're like, again, I'm seeing someone, like, they're screaming from a mountaintop just for the sake of doing it. They're like, I'm successful! And they're, like, listening to their own to their own revelation on reloop there. Okay, I'm hearing hyperloop as well. I don't know what that's alluding to. Emperor, right? Maybe someone like, they have some discovery. It's from a past life though, that's carried over. They're like, I am the representative of this club. And they like romanticize truly like this whole reality that's been created. However, at the same time, there's a hawk that keeps circling. I'm hearing another plot of land in another place in time on the map. I'm not sure whether they're like, I know that. It's so funny. I'm seeing this, but like, same person. Okay, they're like, but I know I don't belong here as well. But I'm so successful. And they listen. They turn, they listen to the echo of their own entrancement with what they know is not really the type of life that they really want to live. I hate to be so sober with these Scorpio. We all have Scorpio again. I've got a lot of Scorpio in my chart, all right? I'm hearing release it. I don't know what that's alluding to. The world's upright, the emperor upright. We made it. We made it, but we're not really we're not here right now. I don't know what that's about. It's weird. I'm seeing somebody, they got this pottery wheel that they're working with. They're working with ceramics even. And they're like spinning this thing and they're like shaping the pottery. They're even like a teacher and they're like, yeah, they're on one hand, they're like, they feel like, oh, this is for number, they're there because, well, for a reason, this is their life's work. I'm hearing they're actually really rich. I'm hearing that as well. What is considered rich? I'm hearing it's a reality check. I'm hearing, okay, everything can be replaced. I'm hearing as well, it's what you realize of what it is that you cannot replace that actually is the space of richness. Wow. Take it as you will. For a number of you, Scorpio, there's something that maybe even existentially you realize like this has no meaning. All of these stupid balloons I'm hearing as well that I hold in my hand, okay? And I holler, I'm hearing white supremacy. I don't know what that's Scorpio. Okay, I don't know. Take it as you will. It's like, for a number of you, it's like you're making okay, this is for, I gotta be honest, again, Scorpio, for a number of you, you're making a ton of money, okay? But you feel like it's like you're turning this wheel and you're cranking the good stuff out. I don't know. And you're like, I'm the world's richest. I don't know what this is, Scorpio. Not my words. I mean, I'm the world's richest wanton. I'm hearing I'm on the wanted list as well. I'm hearing FBI. I don't know what. Like somebody's like even. I'm hearing they're in some sort of like clan. Hold on. It's like, it is kind of like the mafia. Anyway, I don't know, Scorpio. I'm seeing like someone with like a hat on. I don't know, Scorpio. Anyways, let's not go there. At least like with me involved. Okay, Scorpio. I do have Scorpio in my chart. Anyways, everybody has Scorpio in the chart. All right. But somebody here, I'm hearing they realize like I'm totally making, again, I'm hearing like someone feels that they're making also, well, they're making a living technically. It could be in the way of, well, I'm making a living here. But making a living and feeling like you're living, Scorpio, again, let's clarify this. Making a living and feeling like you're living in that life, two completely different things, right? I'm paying my bills. I'm hearing that specifically. I don't know what. We're all subject to this energy in some way, Scorpio, perhaps. Always take it in general reading. Take it as you will. Apply to situation as you do. If you feel that it resonates, wonderful. If you feel like I'm hearing Daffy Duck is calling your name, then please, by all means, I'm hearing go pop the video. I'm hearing in the cassette player and play it a few times over. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio, but maybe for a number of you, you're like, well, I realize that this is not really what I love. I also to do. Okay, so maybe for a number of you, again, you're really passionate on one level or another about also a certain subject, but you know, right? That that's not really something that also you... For a number of you, I'm hearing stolen goods. I don't know what that's only with the Death card in reverse, the World upright, Son of Cups in reverse, Five of Cups upright. I don't know if someone feels guilty about something, but like they've gotten something like to a level, like they've literally, I'm hearing, it's like left the whole stadium behind. I don't know, like they feel really bad about that though. They're like, I'm looting all these goods. I'm hearing that they feel like, holy moly, like all these people. I'm hearing they're leaving on time, on the clock. They're following all of the protocols. And I'm here, like, just clowning around, and I'm making, like, six figures. Like, somebody maybe even, like, they found a way. This has to do with someone's, like, past, though. Again, I'm hearing it's, like, something that they're just... or some kind of, like, history thing here. Anyways, okay, I'm hearing a wanted list. Okay, anyways, with the death card reverse, right now, jingling the keys, making some more I'm hearing, it's not jam or jelly, it's jammy. I don't know what that's like. Someone's like freaking in their pajamas. Okay, they're making, you know, all kinds of also jewels for the crown. I'm hearing as well that they will wear on the day of the judgment call. I don't know what, Scorpio. Now, someone here realizes, though, they're like, even if I can roll the drum like this and then turn around and say, just joking, the joke's on me. Okay, someone realizes that. Also, what it is that, whoa, 50-55 right there on the clock, Scorpio, not a joke. For a number, maybe you get to that point where you realize karma's a bitch. Okay, I'm hearing this specifically. Karma is very much real. Life is a cycle. I will live through every lesson again. Once, maybe twice, maybe thrice. If I fail, I'm hearing to hail to the beholder of this truth that everything is to be created from love. For a number of you, Scorpio, if you're in a space and you feel like, I don't hold myself in this space, like when I am living this life out, I don't see others in this space. I don't even see myself in this space. There's no level of empathy here. Okay, there are strings and I'm holding them, I'm puppeting them, but there's no empathy. If the space that I've created is void of that, also community, that feeling of community, what have I created but a box of the figment of my imagination that I am actually real? Scorpio, you're realizing also for a number of you what you create and what that defines of you as a creator of that space. In other words, Scorpio, for a number of you, you realize the power also of community and what that brings to whatever it is that you touch. So in other words, for a number of you, you're like, well, what's the good also in any tangible object? I'm hearing any piece of property, any good, doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how expansive it is, how large it is. It could be a freaking island. Who freaking cares, right? If what I create carves simply out a space. And if it is that I simply cry, I'm hearing myself to sleep at night, every night, while I call it home. Let's say it in this way, Scorpio, right? At the end of every day, what do you come home to? Scorpio. What is it at the end of every day that you can actually say you come home to? It doesn't have to mean, right, necessarily that there is or is not a certain type of person there in that space. What's reflected here, Scorpio, right here, right now, is what do you come home to you in that moment? In other words, Scorpio, is what you represent in the day the same of what you come home to in the night? Are those two realities of yours representing your role? I'm hearing your responsibility that you hold to yourself to be simply honest. With what you love. Scorpio, for a number of you, okay, the question at this point is, sometimes, right? What hurts so much and so far to the point of leading us into the space of what it is that we love so much, so deeply for? For a number of you, there is something that I'm hearing, I planned a getaway. I'm hearing that specifically. And then I came back to the same point that I left off on. Maybe for a number of you, you left home. You thought, well, I will love my life. I'm hearing as well. Living, you know, in the land down under. I'm not sure what that, for a number of you, maybe you're like, well, I'm a hermit and I have a shell, and maybe you even justified this. You're like, well, I'm gonna be, you know, all night long. I don't know what that's alluding to. Like, you maybe told yourself, well, this is something that I've wanted for a long time. This is something that I've wanted. Okay. If you really wanted it, right, would you have needed also to define it as that? I don't know what that, like, was it not obvious enough? Like, where did the process of proving that model, okay, come through, even be it to yourself, where you told yourself, well, I love this and this is why I should do this. Interesting. Anyhow, Scorpio, for this is an expenditure. Maybe you like really, you like spent a lot of money on something even, and you're like, I thought that this would be like my portrait, and suddenly you realize that the painting is not of the caption that you write. Like, I'm seeing someone painting a portrait, and then when it comes to the caption, like, the painting is of like a certain person, but they keep writing the name, okay, of another person. So for a number of you, it's like, this is coming through just a moment ago as well, you actually let go of some space that you really, really loved. There was no shining the light away from that space. Like, in fact, you didn't. Okay, I will go so far as to say it in that way, Scorpio, that you didn't let them go. You didn't let that place go. You didn't let that person go. You didn't let, also, your parents know. I'm hearing about that. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. Like, for a number, there's something I'm hearing, a hideaway, getaway. Like, someone was like, I'm going to try to get my mind off of it. And they, like, went on some trip, or, like, I'm hearing Great Lakes Barrier, the Great Reef. I'm hearing Canada. They went to Canada. They called up some, like, monk guru. They're like, hello, can you please, like, marry me to someone else? I'm here also marry me to this person. I don't know. Like, maybe they went through some sort of, like, sacrilegious, religious, birthright passage. I don't know. They went through some kind of, like, I'm hearing, show you the shape of my heart. Like, they even, like, they tried to prove to themselves that something was not right. Anyways, whatever it is. And then or to prove to themselves, like, they're trying to find proof for the Molly, I don't know what that they were on. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. Death in reverse, Sun in reverse. They're like, tell me. It's just a story. I don't know what that's about. Someone was, anyways, okay. Now, then they looked back. I'm hearing they never actually cleared even the convo that they had with that person. I'm hearing the letter D. I'm hearing the letter N. I'm hearing Noah as well, very strongly. Someone could not shake some experience, and it was pressure that they felt, you know, I don't know what to even call it. They're like, it's not tension, maybe they're talking to someone about that, or maybe someone's like, well, what are you feeling? Like, this person's like, you don't get it. I'm feeling pressure. This person's like, well, pressure? Just freaking relieve your pressure, man. Come on, Riley. We gotta go to the room now and renounce this together. I don't know what. Let's clear that. Like, and this person's like, no, you don't get it. Like, I'm really, like, I'm feeling like this person is like, it's like a heaviness, like a weight on my chest. And I'm seeing, like, this other person doesn't get it. I'm hearing that possibly. They're like, what do you mean you feel like you're playing volleyball? And they threw the ball at your chest and you felt like you were the chosen one. What the fuck does that mean? I'm hearing this. Somebody doesn't understand this, okay? I'm hearing Leo, Capricorn, from California. They don't get it. Okay, I hear that. I'm hearing Libra. Somebody's trying to explain something to even a Libra. They're like, just let them go. You know, what's the big deal? Okay? Gosh. Do you know how to dig a hole? Dig a hole, bury the bone. The dog will never find it. Did you get it? Okay, the dog always finds it, by the way. Yeah, don't think you can cheat the dog out of his bone there. You know what I mean? They always will go back running. Right? To find it, they will always have that memory as well. And wouldn't it stink to lose your dog, right? To the chase of finding. Also, the chosen. I'm hearing the chosen chew toy of their dreams. I don't know what that's linked to. Like, don't try and avoid, let's say. This can be you with yourself. Where you're like, I tried to ignore it. I'm seeing someone like they realize that their passion is haunting them. What a beautiful thing, right? God, my passion again. I keep having nightmares about my passion. Passion. You're back again. All right. The pill thing didn't work. I'm hearing that as well. I don't know why that's linked to. They're like, the guru monk just made it worse, if anything. I'm seeing like this guru monk. Anyways, let's not get into that. And it's like, well, maybe they don't want to blame them or whatever. They're like, what the heck is going on? This pain. I'm hearing this pain in my chest. It just keeps. I'm hearing it's eating me alive. And so someone feels like also like they were the chosen one. I don't know what that's about. For some kind of opportunity even. If they saw it truly as like an opportunity and they felt like, again, they felt like they weren't real in that space. They felt like the one little ounce of paranoia got the best of them, and so they raced off the track. Scorpio. I don't know what that's alluding to. It was like the rabbit who ran away because I'm hearing I'm hearing the dangling leaf was really looking like a carrot there. I don't know what that's alluding to. Okay, what? Somebody was afraid. Oh, they were like, is this real? Is what I'm seeing real? Like they saw something, they met someone, they had a complete realization or recognition of something at that point in time. But then they were like, wait, is it real? Now, what the heck does that mean, Scorpio? What the fuck does that mean? How do you say that's real and then turn away and look back at it and say, is that real? Is that really real? How can something be really real or really not real? You know what I'm saying? It's all your perspective as well. And maybe for a number of you, like what you really saw is real, redefined what you thought was real. And then it's at that moment, Scorpio, where you turn back at what made what you thought was real not really feel real anymore. And then you're like, okay, well, it's a fact that maybe it redefined that space, that then you're like, well, does it really have to redefine it? Because that's going to be a whole new rope that we jump rope with. And maybe it's just easier to rewind the tape and say that we never vacation there. I'm hearing that again as well. Somebody wants to rewrite history, and again, I'm hearing this again, Scorpio. Karma's a bitch. Karma's very much real. Life goes on, but lessons do too. And if we didn't learn them the first time, we will lead right back to them, be it by way of our own doing, or life that just kind of happens to, kind of surprise us with another serendipitous encounter. I'm hearing in that same place and time. So for a number of you, yes. Okay, do we want to revisit the way that I'm hearing Sharona looks at herself in the mirror? I don't know what that's alluding to. Somebody's like, look, this is maybe even an aspect of my own being. And they're telling themselves, like, I need to show up with this. Maybe it's something that they want to even show the world. They're like, I want to showcase this. I know it's a talent of mine. I want. And they're even like screaming at themselves. That's what's up. They look in the mirror and they're like trying to even tell themselves, look, it's not you talking unless you also talk about this one thing. Wow. So for a number of you, it's something that somebody wants to reveal even of their character. Now, Sagittarius, I'm hearing this came through. The Sagittarius are beating big time. Scorpio. For a number of you, it's a new beginning, it's a new start. You realize that when you do actually break, I'm hearing these lines apart, and you start to begin to tell the life that was written in between them. Whoa, Scorpio, you realize that life is what you make it. It's not what other people, okay, read of your lines and make of them. It's, or even yourself. You can technically write lines, you can technically read them out, and you can technically say, well, I did it. I'm real. I've made it. I'm successful. I'm loving life. But if I don't feel like I am, again, living that life day to day, if I don't feel like I'm also learning, I'm hearing more about myself, and even, you know, to the point where I address my space of tension, can I say that it's even mine, that it's my life, right? For a number of you, right, that I'm living, it's like, is this a caricature, okay, that has created this life that is living out, and I'm just like kind of like the puppeteer master, okay? Is that me? Is that the person I see myself as, to portray myself through the lens of, ooh, Scorpio. So for a number of you, wow, it's getting a little deeper, okay? We're no longer treading in the shallow end of the pool, if you know what I mean. Our shirt is off as well at this point. We realize that we are kind of shivering. And Jack really does love Rose. I'm hearing the end of the day when we realize that the crown has gone missing as well and is starting. I'm hearing to collect dust at the bottom of the sea. Holy shit, Scorpio. I'm hearing you want to go home. I'm hearing it in this way. You realize that also law, regulation can replace your real feelings, okay? Like, let's say you wrote out some scripture. You're like, okay, my new life begins here. My story is here. My new life is here. I'm gonna live in the hood. I'm hearing that as well with the death card in reverse. I'm gonna live in this hooded way, in this hooded manner as well, where maybe this metaphorical or someone's like, I'm not really like talking about, you know, my real life as well. I don't know what that's about. Maybe someone's like, well, I'm concealing my true nature. Da 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 da. I don't know. Anyways, okay. And it's like, well, I'm hearing easy does it. So maybe someone's like, well, they're connected, but they're disconnected. I'm hearing that as well with the death card in reverse. I said the devil in reverse. Like, again, maybe they have like even connections. It could be related to your social space. Scorpio, we're like, I have a ton of friends, but I don't feel like I'm also first in that space. Truly, like when it comes to a level of empathy, money doesn't make children also grow. Wow, okay, Scorpio. So for a number of you, I'm hearing a meteor has hit with the death card in reverse, and the sun is in reverse. For a number of you realize like something is actually it's actually landing. I'm hearing in position now. Hold on. It's a portal, Scorpio. It's a promotion, I'm hearing as well. Take it as well. For a number of you, it's a position that you feel you need to take on. It may be spiritually based. It may be energetically based. You realize you're not poaching the egg this time. I don't know what that's alluding to. You're like, that's it. We need to come out with this. I'm hearing raw. The Hierophant upright, the Ace of Wands upright, and the Eight of Swords upright. Okay. The Hierophant is barking at the Chariot reverse. For a number of you, you feel like, well, let's backtrack. It's like a station of news. I don't know what that's about. This is something maybe even like, you're like, holy moly, it's breaking news. I'm making headlines. For a number of you, you're letting go of hell to ascend into the depths of heaven. I don't know what that's about. Let's clear that, Scorpio. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just channeling what's coming through. Take it as you will, but somebody feels like they're rewriting their story. They're realizing what's real. They're realizing that the rope is not really the chance that they hold on to and that they swing from to and fro. It's what they fly with. I'm hearing the living embodiment of. I'm hearing the space of connectedness for that they feel for what they create. So someone's seeing through the mirage of what the mirror shows them. Wow. And they're realizing at times what must shatter to show how the pieces must fall, to be able to replace them with, I'm hearing, what really, I'm hearing, writes their story out. Oh, Scorpio. I'm hearing, knock, knock, who's there? No. I don't mean who your I'm hearing who your I'm hearing your respondent was. Okay, I don't know why that's only Scorpio, but I'm hearing who's there this time around. I'm hearing when no one's home anymore. Okay, Scorpio, let's work with the fast lane now. All right, I'm hearing that specifically. Maybe someone's like, that's it. They realize something and they're like, I'm ready to respond. I'm ready to really, I'm hearing reignite. You've got here the Ace of Wands upright, the Five of Cups upright. It's like someone like suddenly, it's like sudden Scorpio, they start to like shift everything out of place and back into place, but really actually into a piece of luggage. Wow, that they're getting ready to like take. I'm hearing no place but home. Whoa. Ace of Wands upright and the Daughter is right. For you, I'm hearing reconditioning your habits, the way you perceive as well your future. For a number of you, you're letting go of like something that has been a placeholder on the map. For a number of you, you're actually releasing a title. I'm seeing that it's interesting what's heralding and actually what's actually stimulating this change is starving. I'm hearing the ideology that has sustained an image for you of success or stability that was actually broken. I'm hearing broken at the edges to begin with. It's weird. I'm seeing a portrait that was painted and it's cast and it's in this frame on the wall. And it's like I'm seeing that people, okay, it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing people pass by this portrait and they're like, wow, it's beautiful. It's like porcelain. It has a few cracks. Doesn't that mean that it's like it's aged, it's weathered, it's real? And I'm seeing like with a person who actually is like portrayed in this image realizes that it's cracked because it wasn't painted right. I'm not sure. For a number of you, if you're involved with like ceramics, even if you know like with glazing, like I don't know that process even symbolically or metaphorically, what stages ceramic or a piece of ceramic may go through to actually crack or not. I don't know what, take it as you will. I'd be quite interested to know more about that. I might actually Google that once we get off the reading. But for a number of you, it's something that, again, like the person who was painted in that portrait, they realize, they're like, that was the pacification I'm hearing of my love that actually caused me to crack in the image. Wow. So for a number of you, it's like, it's not the pressure I'm hearing as well of like painting the portrait, that it's like maybe people look at this thing and they're like, wow, how beautiful and weathered. It's like part of the world that they wanted, isn't it? I'm not sure what that's alluding to, like growing pains or whatever. I'm not sure. But again, Scorpio, it's like growing old together. I'm hearing as well. It's like, no, this was the pain that I endured of not being able to, okay, give way to the pressure that I feel of passion to create, okay? Like, for a number of you, it's the passage that was obstructed of painting the portrait that you really did want to paint. Scorpio, this is not for everyone, take it as you will. We're going to get into this further, but we split again to the Father Pentacles and the Hierophant, so, and the World upright. So for a number of you, there is an image here, okay? It is very much related to your reputation, the Death card right over the Hierophant. It has to do with a secret, I'm hearing as well, the Moon mirroring the World, Daughter Swords. For a number of you, though, it's kind of easy to let go of because it actually wasn't really what you loved in a certain way. It wasn't really actually real as well to a certain degree. It wasn't your nature. It wasn't your impulsive nature. So in a way, it's like kind of easy to retrain the dog when the dog was never really kind of impulsively drawn, okay, to that. Also, to that person to begin with. I don't know what that, like, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? When something is meant to be, that person will naturally sort of be drawn to that space time and time again. And the most sure, fast way to identify when something is real is when it keeps reoccurring, reappearing, reconnecting. I'm hearing also with itself. I'm not sure what this one, take it as you will. There could be a number of ways that can be interpreted, so always take it as you will, however you feel guided to interpret it. Knight of Swords and the Death card. I'm here, I keep having dreams. I'm hearing recurrent recurring dreams. I'm hearing that specific Scorpio, you got the death card mirroring the moon. For a number of you realize that, again, nothing is real except for the feeling that you feel. And the only thing, Scorpio, that actually will be revealed in any moment is how real you are with what that feeling really feels like for you. If you then say it in this way, maybe you met someone, you're like, I know that I love that person, but I told myself that it wasn't love. I told myself that it was lust. I told myself that it was, maybe even like, to be continued in the long distance future. Why would one take the seed of fertility and call it futile just because it was a form of undertaking that they were not yet, I'm hearing, familiar with? I'm hearing the face of. I'm hearing the facelessness of. I'm hearing the formlessness of. The freedom. I'm hearing the freedom to create. So for a number of you, it's bravery at its finest. Bravery to address what it is you really want. Scorpio, I'm hearing that you're done with the games. I'm hearing in this way. I don't know what that's about, but for a number of you, you're tired also of talking about, okay, in an existential or abstract way, what you imagine to be the potential of this space. For a number of you, feel like talking is going nowhere when it comes to taking, I'm hearing, the train to the next stop. Now, you have the Hangman reverse, Seven of Pentacles upright. I'm seeing something that has been on a loop. I'm hearing from London to France, from I'm hearing the letter F again. I'm hearing from I'm hearing the Philippines. Hold on. I'm hearing Finland, I'm hearing as well, but I'm hearing Philippines to I'm hearing Lisbon, Portugal. I'm hearing and back, and we are in the same place that we started. Scorpio, for a number of you, you've been running from something. Okay. You got the Chariot here mirroring the Hangman for a number of you. Hold on. Got the Moon here mirroring the Hangman as well. The Moon now is mirroring the Chariot. For no reason, this is your past. Scorpio, take a seat. We're here to take out the trash, right? All right. That's right. That's why we're here, right, Scorpio? Scorpio, there's no way you can leave the room now, right? I'm hearing that. I don't know what that's linked to. Maybe you're like confronting something with yourself even. You're at that point where you're like, that's it. I have to sit myself down and talk about it. I need to sit myself down and stop saying sorry as well about it. I don't know what. You're like, that's it. There's no way. I can't just feel guilty. I can't feel bad about also what I branded, okay, to be something that I feel doesn't belong in the picture. There's no point in that, even ruminating on trying to make it also work. Okay, so maybe for now you're like, well, that's not perfect, but maybe we'll just sort of like pop some things in place to make it, pop. Okay, pop. Anyways, but for a number of you, it gets to the point where you realize, look, I don't want to just like work with history also on repeat all over again. For a number, you're getting real tired of a certain cycle. It's to that point where you're like, I will remove the cassette if I need to replay it one more time. And it's getting to the point where what that may take you to is the rewind to, I'm hearing your responsibilities. I'm hearing your connections also to others on an emotional level, which also comes to, I'm hearing your sentimental connections in the subconscious. So for a number of you, it is about vulnerability. For a number of you, it has to do with reviewing certain stories. Take it as you will. But for a number of you, take it as you will, Scorpio, right? It's just channeling what's coming through. If you don't want to do that, perfectly fine. You do you. Okay. But as long as you're doing you, right? The you, even if that is the you within you, even if there is a sort of, a Russian doll that you need to excavate to get to the very core of you, let's just at least be real with you, Scorpio. Don't think I'm going to let you off the hook because I love you, right, Scorpio? And that's why I do these readings, because I know that there is always, okay, content within, okay, that conversation that, let's say, we have about ourselves. And, I got a little Scorpio in my chart, so I don't really love to just, like, look at things and, like, kind of like lead them on as well. I want to communicate about the content here also of the film. I'm not sure what that's going to, but be at your potential. And that's really why we do these readings, right, Scorpio? We're getting down to the core of the why you are also here on Earth at this time. Okay, about your creative potential and abilities, Scorpio. And if you feel like that's scary to reveal, right, your potential, your gifts, your abilities, again, I'm hearing, just know that the only way I'm hearing that we will release, I'm hearing the pressure and the tension, is to replay. I'm hearing what has sustained itself as the story that tells us that our own is not ours. So for a number of you, I'm hearing that song with Sherilyn. To be real, listen, Scorpio, everyone will have something to say about your reality. I'm serious, Scorpio. It doesn't matter who you are, and for me, yeah, you got this. But for a number of you, it's like, listen, okay? You could be super freaking successful, Scorpio. You could be like, seriously, you could be Shania Twain. I'm hearing Mariah Carey. You could be Beyonce, Jay-Z. You could be Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. Someone in the audience will always shriek at what it is that you are sure of. Remember that, Scorpio. Truth is not something that's told through time. There's no proving. I'm hearing also your love for someone, for something. And if you feel like, you know what, for a number of you, maybe you feel like, well, if I come out with this, will they really call it like real back? What the fuck does that mean, Scorpio? Scorpio! If you feel something's real, let's get this real clear. You know, Scorpio, algorithmically, you know that that's real for you. You know how you feel about something, all right? That is, I'm hearing algebra equation A. Algebra equation B is you presenting that truth. To this point, there's nothing to be said, right? It's your truth, you're representing it. Algebra equation number 3 is the reaction to that space. Okay, why would we replace what we really feel? No judgment coming through here, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, absolutely feeling these energies, okay? Take it as, I'm not a Scorpio, but I mentioned that, so hey. Okay, I don't know what that's alluding to, but I am a Scorpio rising. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so anyways, reflective. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. Maybe you are not a Scorpio, but you're dealing with a Scorpio. Or maybe you are playing games here. I'm hearing with your own, with your gravitational pull. I'm hearing with the Scorpio. I don't know what I'm... Anyways, let's backtrack, Scorpio! Okay, so for a number of you, I'm hearing sly with the moon and the Temperance card and the sun. I'm hearing living it up with the Death card upright and the Knight of Swords upright. Okay, anyways, let's clear that. So let's backtrack. Now, Scorpio, what on earth would it mean? Seriously, what on earth would it mean if someone came through and threw an egg at your revelation? I'm hearing these boots were made for walking, and that's just what I'll do. Honey, I'm hearing if the store doesn't sell what you need in it, I'm hearing I'm not sorry. I'm hearing that as well. I don't know what. For a number of you, it's like you're coming out with something, Scorpio. You're about to reveal something. You're about to tell someone also who you really are. Revel in that. Painting. Even if others, want to take it down, okay. I'm hearing it's not made for the Great Hall of Fame, but it will be made for another. So for a number of you, let's say it in this way. Even if something that you do present, this came through big time in the Sagittarius reading, even if what you do present, Scorpio, in some way deters, let's say, someone who you thought was like, this is my great one true love, if I tell them who I really am, and I show them this aspect of my being, this very real side to my story, will they totally, throw slime on the walls and try to wipe down my portrait? What the fuck? Even if they do that, Scorpio, they weren't part of your real story, right? Okay, so let's find, right, the size, I'm hearing also of the wall that will accommodate the painting, okay, to fit just right. And the only way we're gonna find that space of what does feel right is when we try to hang that portrait up on the wall, right? And so we learn about ourselves and also what it is that our needs may lead us to create the space for as well. Okay, in other words, it's like, well, I need to be willing to discover what I actually need and what I want. What does it for me? I need to be willing to date. I'm hearing that as well. For a number of you, it's like, if I feel like I haven't found one, yeah, okay, let me feel like, you know, a cracker in the jack box, okay? Like, maybe I will start sort of serial dating a little bit, at least to get the point, wow, across. I'm hearing it as well in that way. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. Chariot with the Ace of Swords. Okay, I'm hearing Mama Alchemy. I'm hearing she's on a hysterical, I'm hearing Lifetime film right now. Holy shit, I don't know what that's alluding to. Ace of Swords upright with the Chariot. For a number of you, it's like, listen, I'm hearing it this way, Scorpio. You're learning about what you what you live for, and sometimes we go through these like really crazy hoops to like avoid what we actually do want. Okay, with the herald of attention to what it is that we don't. I don't know what this like. Look over here at this painting on this wall that I actually don't really want you to look at. I'm hearing as well in that way. Like, look over here at this like hurt and this pain that I feel that is not really like the hope of my nation as well. I don't know what Death card, right? Like someone's like, this is drama. I'm hearing as well that I'm just drawing out for everyone to see because, well, they're focusing on it. I'm hearing when I do that. I'm hearing that as well. So what's that about? So maybe for a number of you, it's a bit abstract, Scorpio, but you're like, you feel like something has also fallen apart, like on one level. Doesn't mean that there isn't a story there still, but it's kind of stale at this point for a number of you. For someone here, perhaps, they're like, it's not starring me anymore as well in the film. So maybe for no reason, it's just something that has lived through. It's a cycle or a process. Let's clear that. I'm hearing, come closer. I need to talk to you. I'm hearing that with the Chariot upright, Ace of Swords upright, the Lovers in reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse. I'm hearing, I'm not coming home for the love. I'm hearing that as well. And inevitably, I know that means that you're looking elsewhere too. I don't know what. Be it on a metaphorical level. Again, this could be you with yourself, Scorpio. Remember that, right? Always matter of interpretation. You know, I realize that I am not happy here. I'm hearing that as well. I am in pain in trying to perfect the portrait that is not personifying me. Okay. There's no point in perfection when the portrait and the person don't feel right. Also for one another. Like, maybe even someone's trying to force chemistry with even two characters that they're casting in a film. And it's like, listen, okay, Money Mathers doesn't want to work. I'm hearing with Cardi B like that. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. Okay. No judgment. I don't know anything about that and whatever. Okay, I don't know about these characters. Okay, the characters, I don't know about the conversation, okay, that happens in these industries amongst these content creators. I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing about these creators. Like, at the end of the day, maybe someone even is like trying to maybe like bring a certain community together, and they're like, it's falling apart. Every time I try to build the cake together, like I'm seeing a cake that someone's trying to bake, and it's dry. I don't know. It's like, it just crumbles. And it's like, shit, what's wrong? Is it the crumble? Is it the crumble that is the problem? Think about this more like, again, it's funny. It's interesting. I'm seeing like somebody, I'm not laughing at the situation, but it's ironic maybe to a certain degree or level, not necessarily literally, but take it as you will. It's like someone bakes a cake, it keeps crumbling, and the person turns around at every point and is like, okay, why is the cake crumbling? Is it because of the crumble? I'm hearing that specifically, which is like an illusion even, right? It's like, how can that be? Is it like, why did the egg crack? Is it because of the yolk that fell out of the crack when the egg cracked? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that, Scorpio. Death looking at the Chariot with the 8. Someone feels like, listen, there's no way that I could blame what has also become of the space on the balance that was balanced out. I'm hearing after the whole beginning has begun. I'm hearing also of this space. I don't know what that's like. Okay, it was bound to sort of happen in this way. Now, whatever, let's not get into that, Scorpio. Let's go backtrack and let's clear that. It may not be literal again. Let's take it as you will as well. For a number of you, though, it's like for a number of you, right? You feel like, well, what actually started this process is the story that I started it out through. So maybe for a number of you, you like formed some sort of connection or what you felt to be like a foundation, even a business, for it could be a business, that just, it didn't feel balanced for some reason or another. Maybe you started out in this space feeling like, I'm hearing that song, oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. Someone who like, what? Hold on. What do you mean you want to dance with somebody? That's like, there's no real leadership in that space, right? I'm hearing that specifically. I don't know what. That's really no judgment to Whitney and her song at all. But maybe someone's like, look, I just kind of threw it out there that I just wanted to like hope for better. better, not worse. Like someone was like, I want to just make an improvement. Like, and maybe they felt like, they're like, yeah, I just threw my shirt off, and then we showed up, and we showed each other the way home. I'm hearing as well. Like, I don't know what that's alluding to, but maybe someone was like, yeah, I just threw some shampoo in my hair, I showed him a good time, and then we like also shaved each other down. I'm hearing our parts, our lady parts. I'm hearing as well. Like, I don't know. For a number of you, somebody felt like they maybe even like they cleared something from the past again. I'm hearing it that way. And then they like somehow like called it something new. I'm hearing that as well. So for a number of you, okay, like, again, maybe someone like even they wrote off also their needs. I'm hearing, well, okay, well, for a number of you, Scorpio, I'm hearing be careful. I'm hearing with Cardi B there. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. I don't know what that might be alluding to. With just a card of Bray, the Empress in reverse, like maybe someone is about to like also let someone know about something. It's like something that has been causing a lot of tension. Now, I'm hearing livid. Someone's like, maybe they feel like someone's going to be real livid when they bring something forward and out into the light. Death card upright, moon upright. Now, for a number of you, again, it's like, I want to dance with somebody. It's like, there's no, perhaps, like, there's no standard, right, that we're, like, really throwing out with that. We're just saying, well, I want to dance with somebody. So maybe there's a focus on the action there. For a number of you, maybe you felt like, oh, like they felt like there was potential with someone in some way at some time, but then it's like, it all falls down again. Like, they felt like maybe in some way they couldn't keep up with them. I'm hearing as well, like, I'm hearing, 'cause it hurts so good. What's that song? And it's like, they felt like there was hope, but they trashed it. I'm hearing that as well. I don't know what, no judgment, Scorpio. Again, right? Take it as you will. But they felt, maybe someone felt like, I totally rewound the tape to the wrong part of the film. I showed them the way that they made each other marriage proposals that they didn't mean. I'm hearing as well, like, maybe they felt like they set some standard or they made an impression on someone that, like, they needed to remake, but then they're like, shit, it's screwed, I can't remake it at this point. But that's not true. They just felt like there's a lot to remake. I'm hearing it that way, Scorpio, and I am not a maid. I'm hearing as well to make things up. Okay, so this was a power play. This is perhaps for a number of you, Scorpio. This is a good, okay, Scorpio. But it's okay. I'm hearing now we're on the search for freedom from what it is that was not, okay, really the future of. I'm hearing our wife or the cast or the crew or the mediumship. I'm hearing the mediumship that took place to make it all seem real. I'm hearing as well to the maid and her dress. I don't know what that's about. Someone was like, they tried to even like set an image here, even in the proctored exam. I don't know what that's going to. It's like, here, I'm hearing, so take a look at me now. I'm hearing that song specifically. Yeah, so the Tower here is at the base of the Mother of Pentacles. Holy shit, is it trembling, Scorpio, at this point. We have Temperance here mirroring the Tower. We are left with an option, and it is to talk about what the table is rumbling for. Something is even, it's like, there's something coming out, and it's like, one or another, like, it's showing. Like, someone feels like they're bleeding between the lines, and they're like, there's no way that I can't tell my best friend, right? That I'm also feeling, like, out of balance. Like, it just shows. It shows on my face. I'm hearing it shows in the way I show up. For a number of you, it's affecting your work. You're showing up to work. I'm hearing in ways that, I'm hearing, make others want more out of you. I'm hearing that as well. Like, maybe your friends or also your colleagues. I'm hearing future colleagues. It kind of like they print your name out in a way that makes you feel that they're preoccupied. I'm hearing that as well. They're like, hey, so you're definitely going to show up, right? Like, I don't know. People are making like suggestions or comments that make you feel like they also kind of see the comment, like, for no reason, maybe you feel like, oh, they are noticing. I'm hearing as well that I'm under pressure. I'm hearing that I'm in pain as well from the portrait. I'm hearing as well that I'm hearing admonition. What's that about? I'm hearing admiration. They're like, someone's like, yeah, you know, it's just making me feel more and more under pressure. So someone feels perhaps like they're about to crack from the egg that feels shaken up a little bit. I don't know what that's alluding to. So it has to do with revelation perhaps. I'm hearing the shell, the egg, with the Fool in reverse and the Judge's card, right? So let's backtrack. For number, this is something that perhaps someone felt like one way or another, it's gonna be revealed. So should we wait also until the point where the egg cracks and then the yolk tells the story for us, or should we just, you know, race to the finish line? I'm hearing fall over all of our fake friends on the way. Scorpio, what? I'm hearing fall over. I'm hearing also, I'm not sure what, I'm hearing fuck over all of our fake friends on the way. Someone feels like shit. They're in a catch-22 situation. But what? This is not me talking Scorpios. This is perhaps what someone is telling themselves, or they've been told. Well, I'm hearing it has to do with a hierarchy. So like, if somebody comes out with something, it will like not only replace their own character, it will replace everyone under them as well. It's like, and they're like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm hearing to my family. I'm hearing that as well. The Temperance card reverse with the Hangman reverse. It could be related to a company. They're like, yeah, I will totally taint the image of the whole company. All of the 900 people that work, I'm hearing for it. And really? I'm hearing really. Are you going to break down the whole system? I'm hearing as well of beliefs. No, for a number of this has to do with religion. And I'm hearing spam, Temperance in reverse. What's that about? I'm hearing it has to do with the audition. Somebody's about perhaps even to like, they're going to take on some sort of like program or like training or even procedure, and it really, it riles up. I'm hearing a few religious, I'm hearing rotini, I'm hearing rotini, I'm hearing ruddy tape films. I don't know what, no judgment, okay? It's not me again, Scorpio, but I'm just channeling what's coming through out right. But somebody feels like, okay, I'm gonna take the whole, you know, the whole start to finish thing, you know, start to end thing, storyline, the way that everyone thinks that also like stories ought to be told. I'm gonna take that whole also scripture and I'm gonna completely staple it back to front. I'm hearing inverted. I'm hearing inversely with the Fool in reverse. Like someone feels like they're totally making also fun or light of, or it can be take. They're like, people are not gonna even believe me. They're like, if I come out with this, you're gonna think I'm like the greatest comedian that life ever told them could exist. I'm hearing that as well. They're like, yeah, no, this would be totally like, this would be flattery at its finest for the, I'm hearing for the, for the filament, I'm hearing, of DNA that told, I'm hearing, the whole family that I was funny. Like, they're like, everyone in the family would slap their freaking knees and tell each other that I'm the funniest of the whole family. Like, they would literally, they would say, like, you literally won in the funniest Hall of Fame for being the funniest person I'm hearing ever, you funny bunny. And, like, they would leave it at that. They would let that person off the hook as well with the conversation, thinking that it was a total lie. Okay, Scorpio, so I don't know what that's alluding to. We've got the Hangman in reverse and the Three of Cups upright. I'm hearing the drum roll. I'm hearing is not going to be what drugs everyone up for the conversation and makes them feel ready and hyped up. They will never be ready for this conversation, and that's the point. You're breaking a routine here, Scorpio. It will shatter. I'm hearing certain show and tell, okay, conversations that do take place. In other words, it's like, if this is the person that I want to live my life with, if they are my dream, right? It's like, yeah, that will, by way of, okay, like the property of the inverse relationship to that dream, shatter what was not real for me and maybe was real for someone else. Okay, maybe my family wants me, let's say, to see myself like in a particular manner, okay, like with a certain type of person as well. And I don't see myself, I'm hearing as well, in a maiden dress. I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. For a number of you, you're like, that's also not the type of job that I want to keep. I don't know what that's alluding to, no judgment at all. Okay, at all, Scorpio. We've got the Father Cup splitting right here for the Father Pentacles. For a number of you, this is actually like, well, it's a position as well, maybe, or some kind of like, for a number of you, you're like, maybe you come from some kind of like family with a really long history, and they're holding the torch in their hand as they pass it to you, and they're like, hello, my real son, my one real also ally in this race. I don't know what, and it's like, we want to remind you of also how real you are to us. What the fuck does that mean, Scorpio? No judgment at all to anyone here, but maybe somebody like, they're like, listen, you're just like, you're nothing more. I'm hearing I'm hearing than a dateline predator at this point, because you're taking out from my lungs is the breath of my truth that I actually speak through to you truly and honestly through. For a number of you, it's like somebody is speaking for you, Scorpio, as you might feel it. And you're like, listen, I'm hearing I'm not dumb. With myself, at least. I know who I am, really. And if I sit here and I say, you know what, yeah, and I nod my head and I say, you're right, I will be claimed stupid at that point, even if the person that you're saying I am in that moment is smart, because it's not real. It's not me. It's not my story truly that I release. It's you. I'm hearing it's your story that relives itself through who you think I am. To play the role as revealing the character of, so somebody feels like maybe like they're like, yeah, like maybe someone had a dream and like they couldn't live it through, so they want you to do so. They see someone else, or they see, yeah, someone else living through that dream through, you know, the loophole, the lens of this other person. It's like, just because I love that doesn't mean that, you know, you do too. I'm hearing that specifically, Scorpio. Let's really redefine. I'm hearing the cause as well, the clause. Let's see some further clues that might come through. Who's it gonna take it easy, well, Scorpio? Take it easy. Clear it out. It might not be your own energy. It could be that of another. No judgment as well. Remember that. Just chilling what's coming through. It could be perspective. It is always a matter of perspective. In the first stack here, we're gonna pull the three stacks. In stack A, I'm pulling stack A right now. Okay, stack A, and then stack B. I'm hearing it's hard because it's my best friend. I'm hearing that for number B with stack B. Stack 3. Okay. Now okay. Scorpio, no matter what, again, this is the exact moment that we entered into the reading with. No matter what happens at the end of the day, you're responsible for one thing. Remember that, right? You come into this life, I'm hearing, with a hood and clothes on. What you lead out with is the crawl, I'm hearing, of the inner child. I'm hearing the baby. I'm hearing that blows the whistle on you. Were you real, Scorpio? Were you authentic? Were you who you told yourself that you would be when you told yourself that this race was to be won not by anyone, not by someone also who loves you, but by, I'm hearing, who you willed yourself to be. In other words, who you became in this life, Scorpio. If you were to look back at life, you know, could you say, and what is life? This is perceptive. It's going to be what someone's telling you. Is it someone who you find within you? Or is it someone who you kind of like become and you say, well, this is me because I kind of grew into this image, guys. I'm hearing that specifically. You got the devil mirroring the Father of Cups. Now, I'm not sure what those, no judgment again, Scorpio, but for a number of you, maybe it's like you realize, well, the only thing that matures through life is the wisdom of my inner child. I'm hearing that as well. And it is again, I'm hearing the whistle that's blown by that child who was the chosen one to move into this life in this form that chooses whether or not it lived its life out. I'm hearing absolutely. I cannot fake happiness. I cannot fake fascination as well with the future that I create. And that's the beauty of children, right? Is that authenticity. Like, a kid is not going to fake laugh, right? Was looking at the clock there, 1:44. Looking now at the clock, I said, well, I'm going to wait. 1:44, 1:45:05 was where I looked back at it. I took another glance, and it was at for a number of you, it's like, this is not something that you will like just lead out and feel like a leader because you're leading it out, whatever the space is. You know when you truly feel like a leader as well in the space that you create, right? Because you created it. I'm hearing that as well. For a number of you, it has to do with children right off the bat, and you feel like it's time to change. I'm hearing either your mind or your parents' mind about that, about the choices you make in relation perhaps as well to the concept of children. Maybe for a number of you, you want to adopt. Maybe for a number of you, your family doesn't really process it in the way that you do. I'm hearing this as well. Or maybe you feel like they would try to change your mind about that. I'm hearing that as well. For a number of you, I'm hearing that song, I Wanna Get Away. Ooh. And it causes you a little bit of tension, possibly because, well, it's interesting because on one hand, you're like, well, if I do not face the tension that they will feel, I will feel the tension of not facing what I feel truly and need to feel. I'm hearing with them. So for a number of you, it's like, again, catch-22. Either I fall out of my own life, or I let others know where they need to fall in relation to my truth of where I fall when I fly into, I'm hearing, where I face honesty with what I create when I'm happy. So for a number of you, Scorpio, let's be real, right? I'm hearing, let's not rewind the tape as well and say, well, I think that they actually hit it when they missed it. I don't know what that's about. Take it easy. Well, maybe someone's like trying to take a life that they don't want to live. I hate to be so sober here, Scorpio, but they're like, yeah, I actually do really, like, maybe I can relive it in a way that will make me really, really live it this time. I'm hearing as well. Like maybe someone, they tried a certain cycle. Maybe they even like, they told a certain story in a certain way. It just didn't feel right the first time. And they're like, well, maybe it's just that, not that simple. Maybe I just need to like stop at the edge of the water before I dive in. Scorpio, I'm not sure what that's alluding to with the devil upright, the Father of Cups upright, the Fool in reverse, but just make sure that you're clearing. I'm hearing your audience before you communicate with them. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. For a number of you, maybe you actually want to get Reiki healing done before it is that you actually represent the space. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. Maybe that's something that you had an idea of even. Yeah, for a number of you, you're feeling that there's a lot of resistance to like something that you feel already. You're like, well, this is already challenging for me to address. And when I feel like now I undress it in front of everyone who will not even call it, I'm hearing a doll that can't even be, right, kind of defined as that, well, I feel like a donut without a hole. I'm hearing that specifically. I don't know what that's alluding to. And it's like someone's like, can you please call me by my real name at least? I don't know what that's about. I'm hearing my real names. I'm hearing as well. Real last name. I'm hearing Richard. Now, for a number of you, I'm hearing, listen, don't mention it, okay? It's either like you're really gonna like do it, or you're gonna disguise it. And if you're gonna disguise it, then just don't do it at all. I'm hearing that as well. So maybe someone feels, numbness not me, again, talking Scorpio is just coming through, just channeling. Maybe someone feels like there are even like depths, levels to the discussion, and they may feel that certain audience members, I'm going to call them out, I don't know what this will do, but they will, may not really fully appreciate the caption of the image. And if that is the case, then for a number of you, maybe you're like, well, maybe I might as well just leave it out. Because I don't want anyone calling home as well over the picture and the way that the paint kind of splattered on the image or as the image. So maybe someone doesn't want to, I'm hearing this has to do with Shark Tank. Hold on, let's clear that. They're like, I'm hearing, yeah, this is for a number, like someone's going to reveal something. They want to reveal also their true intention with someone, and they feel like, or they want to reveal an aspect of their being. They're like, this person might think I'm totally ride or die. Somebody fears that someone would think that they're also too intense, or that they're like, oh, they're like, okay, they feel like maybe someone has an expectation of them and it's maybe not realistic. This is in the team that leads out. I don't know what that's about for a number of you. It's funny because I haven't read the 3 stacks yet. I'm just reading the last cards that lead out, which is interesting because it's like no matter what it is that we turn over here, right? Time will be told. I'm hearing as judgment anyways of truth. So it's like for a number of you, you're like, one way or another, I gotta be real. There's no point in like replacing what's real with what's not. So why would I like represent what's not real for any length of time? I hear that as well, even if it does raise a concern. Now again, this is not me calling this out, Scorpio, but for a number of you, you want to call something quits. Okay. In the first stack, we're moving on to the first stack here, Scorpio. Got the 5 of Cups. Daughter Swords upright. The World upright. 9 of Pentacles in reversed. 8 of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing we tried to play nicely here, Scorpio. We patted even ourselves on the back a few times. We tried to process, the pain. I'm hearing as well that perhaps was felt when we tried to keep our clothes on when we really wanted them off. I don't know what that's alluding to for a number of you. It's something that you feel like it just wasn't real for you. I'm hearing you wanted to like recreate also your creative work in a way that maybe like your production company or your parents, I'm hearing as well, like didn't really fully like appreciate. And it's like, well, again, I'm hearing it's all about a presentation, right? At the end of the day, it's my spirit, it's my soul that does actually live on and learn. And I must want what I want to also, I'm hearing wake myself up, interesting, to the next leg of my journey. So one second. For a number of you, there's a project you're very interested in, but you feel like there's no way that you can even get to that point to process that passion that you know that you would like to perhaps address at that point, unless it is that I'm hearing say what you need to say, like now, with the Daughter of Swords upright, 8 of Cups in reverse, like at this junction point. So maybe for a number of you, you're at a crossroads, or you feel like it's a religious thing even. You're like, am I supposed to do this? Or is this like you know, swimming in a pool without headphones on. I don't know why, that's kind of interesting. Okay. Well, swimming in a pool without also my eyes open. So, but okay, that's interesting. So for a number of you though, it's like, it's something that you actually believe in, but maybe you're like, well, look, I believe in this. Oh wow. But it's a matter of the environment that makes this content concerning, maybe even for someone in the environment. Like maybe someone wants to even like paint something like rather tragic. I'm hearing as well, they're like, I want to like make a masterpiece out of my own my melodrama and like put it on tape and like create a cassette, and like somebody's like, or maybe they feel like they don't know if the world would get it. I don't know, what does that mean? What does it mean to get something? Take it as you will. When can you ever confirm that someone has gotten something as well, or that it has gotten? And I'm hearing gotten acclaim for what it is that you thought it would as well. So it's like, I can present something, but who's to say that that was actually taken the way that it was intended? I'm not sure what this will allude to, but now for a number of you, it's like, well, at the end of the day, I don't want to have to remind myself of what I really feel, right? So to ensure that that doesn't happen, I need to like actively create in that space of what I really feel. So in other words, like somebody is worried that maybe they will not reach their potential if in some way they keep stalling with their personal story as well. For a number of this is to do with the trunk show. I'm not sure what those are. Maybe like you're even like, you produce content and in some way you feel like maybe even like you got an opportunity or you got a callback to even invest in some script, but then you're like, but that's not my story. But then you turn around, you're like, but I got the callback. Something like that, Scorpio. And it's actually, as you feel it, it's like making you feel, it's like dimming your potential as you feel it. You're like, the more that I invest and I involve myself in projects that don't actually like I'm hearing pinch me and feel like I'm actually like provoked. I'm hearing stimulated to process passion, maybe even in an unpredictable way, like to experiment. Like if I don't feel innovative or like that I'm actually discovering or creating in this space in a way that is like not just based on material management, okay, of what has been created and or of material objects, like then I feel like I'm just going in circles, and or that I feel like I'm just not or I feel that I'm hearing I'm a gopher without a hole. I'm hearing that specifically. So it feels like their story is untold when they're silent about what the personal side of the story is. And this has to do with the personality. So for a number of you, someone actually maybe even is like, they have some structure, even a contract that really greatly limits their conversation or personal level, even with their audience. And let's move into the second stack. Always take as you will, Scorpio. You got the 3 of Pentacles upright, 2 of Wands upright, the Empress upright, Ace of Swords upright, Mother of Swords upright, and the Lovers upright. Now, I'm hearing gum, chewing a lot of gum with the Lovers upright. Maybe someone feels like they're really tired of something here, Scorpio. Someone's like, I'm done. Temperance in reverse at the base of the Ace of Swords upright. Like, they feel like something, it's like there's no point in rewinding the tape. There's no point of replacing also whatever that the relapse moment was with something else. I'm not sure. It's like there's no way that we can look at that and say, well, that didn't happen. It did happen. I'm not sure, Scorpio, what that's alluding to, but for a number of you, it's like, it's part of you, and you realize, like, your impulses are becoming ever more real. Okay, it's like, there's no way we can tell the dog not to wag its tail as well. I'm hearing when it feels happy, and to bark when it feels like there's a branch that is too big. I'm hearing for it to kind of, like, bring home, I don't know what that's alluding to. I'm hearing with them, like, there's something maybe someone feels just like, it's just, I cannot balance my laughter with my pain anymore. Like, I can't pretend like, or, you know, even with yourself, Scorpio, like, talk myself through what I feel, you know, love is. Why do I need to, you know, so, versus what I feel love is. So, for a number of you, you feel like there's a lot more to the story as well that you owe to is interesting. Your life, I'm hearing, and those who live in it, okay, to observe you authentically, I'm hearing, in it. In other words, it's like, I want others to see me in a real way. Funny, I connected again these two stacks with the Empress and the Ace of Swords. Literally put them on top of one another, split it again, right again to the Ace of Swords, the Empress, right again to the Temperance card in reverse in the base of the Ace of Swords, and the Death card in the base of the Emperor. Scorpio, it's like, no matter where we go, I'm seeing someone who's been just kind of maybe like going in circles. We're like, well, I will eventually, you know, or, well, how do I make, you know, the office suit my needs, or make the promotion exciting enough for me to pop balloons in the I'm hearing in the position that I play. I'm hearing that's what, like, you know, what is the point of the fort if you know, it doesn't really hold itself up, right, for us to live in it. But hold on, this has, well, yeah, for you, it's something that you feel actually like, you don't feel emotionally, perhaps, you feel at odds with emotionally, perhaps. I'm hearing Livingston, I'm hearing New Jersey, I'm hearing Ottawa, I'm hearing Ottawa, I don't know what that's alluding to. Ten of Pentacles reverse, Ace of Pentacles reverse, Ten of Cups in reverse, yeah. So for some reason, it's a career, maybe even like a big move, or some kind of contract that you feel, it also maybe in a certain way you feel like maybe you have like a big title position or role in like even like a Fortune 500 company. I'm hearing that from a review or whatever. I'm hearing 757. You're like, well, it's a huge turn in my career technically. I'm talking about big subjects. I'm being given time to take my time with the tub and the telly, the Teletubby conversation. I'm hearing as well. I don't know what that looks like. At the end of the day, though, you know, it's not about the rags or the riches, right? At the end of the day, it's the routine that either feels right or it doesn't. And if I don't feel that it serves me, then I feel silver, even if I'm technically gold. So for a number of you, it's like you're reminded even of what you really feel passionate about. Sometimes that is by way of feeling the pain of not having it. For a number of you, this has to do with the concept of home, children. For a number of you, you feel like, and what does that mean? You know, always take it as you will. It could be a project as well. The feeling that we have not birthed what we feel we actually, we can really lead our lives to. The greatness of pursuing. It is related perhaps to certain talents, but for a number of you, it's something you want to talk about. Now, for a number of you, it is something that even you want to campaign for, and it is a whistle that you want to blow, maybe even on a certain a certain type of story, and for a number of you it has to do with efficiency. Like, it's interesting because what I'm seeing is, again, maybe you have a big job title within a certain company, but then you feel like, well, I'm technically like making progress in my life, but again, like, this is also, you realize this is taking time, it's taking energy. And do you feel like the hero for your own mission? Let's move into the third stack here, Scorpio. Son of Swords upright. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Daughter Pentacles upright. Four Cups in reverse. Daughter Cups upright. Something's becoming really realistic here. I'm hearing the Magician reverse. I'm hearing rewrite. Review as well. The Moon upright, I'm hearing re-represent. See someone getting a little nervous here. Six of Wands upright, Son of Cups reverse. Okay, so somebody actually is about to represent something. They may even reveal, yep, at a point of revelation, reveal something. Four Cups in reverse, Daughter Cups upright. Someone's been waiting for this. Daughter Pentacles. It could be some sort of open-ended letter, I'm hearing in that way, where someone just writes someone and is like, hey, it's me. I'm hearing also Soul Bond. I guess, well, I'm stuck in the mud. I'm hearing that specifically. I'm a little sticky. I'm hearing in the title of my own act. I want to talk, but I'm too bland right now. I'm hearing for your creative potential. So please give me a little more time to take my motion sickness. I'm hearing home. Okay, like, and have I'm hearing a bottle of seltzer with that. I'm hearing, like, okay, 1 second. So somebody, they kind of offer maybe someone some sort of, like, I'm hearing it's like a replacement for the act that they feel that they eventually would carry out. It's not for everyone. I'm hearing Woody Allen does it again. I'm hearing that specifically. Okay, so wonderful. Now he's carving out wood. I'm hearing that specifically. Wooden characters. Okay, to toughen up the act. I don't know what I'm hearing with. Well, I'm not sure what that's alluding to. Scorpio. Moon upright, Magician reverse. So somebody maybe is like, maybe they're speaking through an alias, or they're like, well, maybe it's not actual time that they're asking for, but they're like, look, I am torn. I'm hearing that with the Daughter of Pentacles upright. Like, they want to somehow okay, I'm seeing somebody wants to somehow represent what they're feeling, but indirectly they're like, I don't want them to come out and say, well, this is how I feel, but I want to I want them to get the idea here that that's how I feel. Okay, so I'm hearing, should I show up? I'm hearing plain and simple. I'm hearing tell me. Is this something that I talk about? I'm hearing openly, or is it something that, or what is openly? Again, it's like you could say something that openly. Does that, define how others will take it? But anyhow, so it's all relative, right? Maybe someone's like, well, I was relatively open with them. And maybe to someone else, it's like, well, Hugh, I felt like you were a book that I couldn't even, like, crack open to read the title of. I'm hearing that specifically. Okay, so again, it's all relative. Four Cups reverse. Maybe for a number of years, like, I felt like you were also like a book that I wasn't like, Brad Pitt enough to read. I'm hearing also out loud. So maybe someone felt like, why was something not showcased, or maybe why was something shied away from? Hold on, but in a public way. So maybe anyhow, let's backtrack. Let's clear that. Somebody feels like they can't come home yet with the Son of Swords upright, Daughter like they feel the need to, like, preface the persona with another personality before they can really fit in. I'm hearing airtight. I'm not sure what that's going to, but we have the Moon and the Daughter Cups. This is something that someone actually feels will help the whole storyline, which is interesting. The Moon upright in the Tower. Interesting. Seriously, the Father of Pentacles. It's like, what will fall down? the mirage of that. Wow. So, but it's funny because it's actually, this person or whoever, whatever this energy space is, they feel like tension actually talks. They feel like also it consumes. Okay. The fuel that actually feeds the fire of friction that faces down instead of up. I'm not sure what, like, they're like, let's exhaust the heck out of the tornado that seeks to displace us. So maybe someone is actually triggering someone, like, but on purpose. Interesting. They're like, yeah, let's just, like, cause enough tension so that she doesn't see also either the bee nor the buzz, like, so they cannot determine, like, the buzz from the bee, like what danger is as hurled at them, as coming towards them, and danger that they create themselves. Interesting. Like, what they fear is actually what they focus on. Wow. So it's like maybe someone is, again, I'm hearing open letter, like they write someone a letter even, or like they open up some space for discussion, but in such a way that really like causes this person to hold that connection and or that discussion reflectively with themselves. Wow. It's like, it's anonymous. So maybe this person is actually revealing something, or they are vulnerable in a certain way. And it's interesting because, again, it's all relative. It's like, well, I was technically vulnerable with you. Yes, it was through an alias, but I was vulnerable with you. Anyways. Okay, so it was like, that's not considered talking. That's not talking. That's turning the page and talking about the lines that we read through. I'm hearing the back of the letter. Okay, I'm hearing upside down as well. I don't know what. Let's clear that. No, for a number of you, this is something that maybe even somebody, like, communicates, but in an offhanded way. Like, maybe it's something even through another party, a third party. I'm hearing that as well. Magician's in reverse, Son of Cups in reverse. Somebody's definitely talking through an alias with someone. Magician reverse, Son of Swords upright. It's real believable. They got a whole story laid out for Cups in reverse. I'm hearing it's formal even. It could look legit. Somebody may actually, like, receive a call from a landline, and it's from Leonardo da Vinci. I'm hearing the paintbrush, though, is not for the poem. It's for the proposal. I'm hearing specifically, like, there's something really realistic here. Like, maybe someone actually comes through with an offer. It's made through an alias account. I'm hearing number. It's got an equation. It solved it. I'm hearing as well, it creates a mystery. It solves it. I'm hearing, I don't know what those only do, Scorpio. But it's meant to replace the romance that actually reminds this person of the whole cycle and story that actually reigned to begin with. So maybe someone, they could be potentially wanting to create another balloon for this person to hold in their hands, so that they're, like, wondering, like, whose birthday it is. What the fuck, Scorpio? What the heck, Scorpio? Or anyone else watching. Okay, Scorpio, crosswatcher Scorpio. Anyway, Scorpio! What's going on? Magician reverse. So maybe that somebody's, like, thwarting someone's even defensive, actions with another game. Like, they distract someone. Like, they thought, oh, we're trying to win on this board game. But then they throw another board into the mix, and now they're like, let's try to work on this board now. So it, like, throws this other person off from this other conversation also, maybe that they were having with this other character. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. It could be you with you. Especially all Sagittarius in your chart. Perhaps there's this sort of defeatist mentality even where you're like, well, it's not that I don't feel like I could win that, but I just feel like I need to be ready to win that. So. Alright, Scorpio. Okay, Sagittarius. Scorpio, Sagittarius, which one are you on today? I'm hearing that specific, I don't know what, that's only two. Maybe you feel like you oscillate. We all have all energies in our chart, and no judgment at all, Scorpio. Or Sagittarius. wait, depending on which one, okay, is telling the story here at this point in time now. Anywho. I'm hearing rags to riches. So, for a number, you feel like also there is this, like, dual identity crisis. You're like, I have a double-edged sword. They're both too sharp to work with, but they're also both part of the story. So what do I say about that? Somebody's even testing themselves. They're like thinking like, does this theory make sense? Like, why is it that I have so much trouble also announcing this? So for a number of you, okay, so for a number of you, maybe even someone is like replacing something with someone else, or like they're representing something, and they're like, well, it's real. It's real. Technically, okay. It's just tension at the end of the day. It's the same tension. So let's get them to talk it out with this other, like, human. I'm hearing also bot. I don't know what that's alluding to see, okay, them through it. So maybe for a number of you, someone was putting something off even. In the meantime, they created this sort of hyper creative space through which they felt like some story could be lived out. Let's clear that energy. For a number of you, it is alien work. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. The Magician reversed. Did somebody do some spell work? I don't know, Scorpio. Take it as you will. Okay. Or did they try to? Or was that their way of, like, grappling with the future? And so maybe they felt like, well, if I address it in this way and I kind of, like, put it off and I, like, cast a spell, maybe someone casts a spell, they're like, well, you know, don't let them flirt with any other boys, I'm hearing, or any other girls in the whole Bayona Creek. I'm hearing of new beginnings. Hold on. Someone was real afraid of someone even like moving on, and they're like, make sure they don't use that sword to wield with other women. I'm hearing as well. One second, let's clear that. So somebody was really, they were off. So sure. Scorpio, they were off. They were put off a little even by something. They didn't know how to handle it, so they thwarted it. They like threw it off. They threw it off its own pedestal. Maybe this was a fear, or this was some kind of paranoia that someone had. They're like, are they trying to get the best of me? Maybe they met someone, especially when someone's got a lot of Scorpio. Not a surprise. We're in the Scorpio reading. Surprise, surprise! I would not be surprised. This is more to say somebody who's got, like, let's say, a lot of Scorpio in the chart, like double Scorpio. Let's say Moon in Scorpio, Scorpio Sun, maybe in the 8th house, maybe Pluto conjunct Mars, maybe conjunct the Sun. You know what I mean? That kind of. Anyways. Fascination, I'm hearing, with the moving parts of the fish there in the bowl. I don't know what the Scorpio has an obsession here, perhaps. Even there is an obsession with the archetype of Pisces here, perhaps. Somebody feels like they have this thing. This came through. It was in the either Pisces or in the Gemini reading or the Sag reading. Someone or the Capricorn. They knew that there was like also. They knew they had a jealous streak. This is not for everyone, but for a number of you, perhaps, like, someone knew that obsessiveness could actually, it could be destructive. And I'm hearing dancing with a stranger. They didn't want to have to, like, get on that whole, like, you know, that whole, like, revenge ride. Okay, like, to the end. I'm hearing to the end of the road, I can't let go. Like, somebody knows, like, they are, like, seriously, they resist also all attempts of domination, like, or perceived domination. So this could be perceptive, where someone's like, I think they're trying to outsmart me, to outmaneuver me, to outpromote me. They're trying to promote me to throw me off later. I'm hearing that as well. So I don't know what, maybe someone's like, I cannot let them have that piece of pie unless I also cut it and served it to them. So someone's actually they may be paranoid, truly, or they may have this personality feature facet of their personality. Maybe they call it that. I don't know what that's about. It's a facet or a function of the personality where they are even high profile. I'm hearing that specifically, but they don't really have an agent for their cause. Like, I don't know, maybe sometimes they have things that they brand, but that they don't identify with. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they are actually Secret Service undercover. Let's clear that. There's something very convoluted, maybe as someone even feels it. But this, they're aware of this. This is for very aware. They know very well, like, also. They even have, like, measures set up, like, it's, like, disaster preparedness type of thing. And not to say that this is a disaster, but maybe that's how they handle it. They're like, I need to be ready to, like, deal with this as something that can be also dug up and, like, discussed also at a certain point in time. So, but for a number of you, this is something that it's a facet of someone's personality where they feel perhaps like it could really, like, it could really drag also a few skeletons out of the closet. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. Take it as you will. But maybe for a number of you, it's even a cycle of behavior that somebody knows they are, they have the potential for. It may be a potential. It may not be something that, you know, is kind of like happening at remote locations at remote times. I don't know what that's about, and no judgment, but for a number of you, maybe it's like, well, I had it kind of like under control, but there are those like streaks. I'm hearing those hidden streaks, those streams and valleys as well that I can test myself on, like, to swim. I don't know what. Let's clear that, Scorpio. Tower bright, the moon are bright. So for a number of you, it's a power thing. Maybe somebody has this thing like where they get like really stopped in their tracks. Perhaps this has to do with acknowledging. For a number of you, it has to do with giving in to with themselves, and again, they know this, they know that it is with themselves. This is for perhaps not everyone, for a number of you. It's like, well, or someone, you know, it's like, this is my dish and I need to clean it. This is my story and I need to support it as well. So maybe for a number of you, let's clear this energy. They don't want, oh wow, I just noticed we have both the Daughter and the Son of Cups for real, Scorpio. Oh my. So somebody feels like, I don't want to put, they don't want to put whatever this this facet, again, I'm hearing this way, this facet of the personality, like, on this other person as pressure. They feel really, really responsible when it comes to that. And even if, like, let's say there is, like, the slight chance that they would, I'm hearing, slip into remission, they absolutely do not want, okay, to have to replace the glass slipper with something else. Like, I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio. For a number of you, it's like, if I were to, like, okay, this for a number of you, like, there are a number of people watching, right? Okay, so for a number, or whatever, him interpreting this message, for a number of you, maybe somebody feels like there's something that, maybe they have a quirk, or, like, it's something that they do, I don't know what, it could even be a certain, like, I'm hearing again, it's like even like, it's a characteristic, or it's a quality of their character that they feel like, would this person try to rewrite the script? Like, would they feel like ashamed even, or would they feel like responsible as well to, like, replace, like, they wonder how this person or how it could be interpreted. Now, whatever it is, for another number of you, I'm hearing sometimes I get lazy on the couch with the moon, Father Pentacles, the Tower, like, okay, Scorpio, well, whatever it is, okay, there is something that someone feels like at times it could be in the way. Well, I just go through cycles. Sometimes I need my alone time. I'm hearing that as well. And would they race with their thoughts, you know, with that? So maybe someone's like, they're just a little bit concerned about how someone may interpret also their Scorpio-like tendencies or the nature. Not to say that all Scorpios are the same and that all energy spaces related to Scorpio are the same. No. Scorpio is always also a matter of how you channel it, right? It's not to say that, like, Scorpio energy is always this way. It's always a matter also of how you channel it. So, you know, the vibration of the attunement to that archetype that you tap into is really how it actually culminates, right? Or creates, even in a collaborative way, a certain form or image. Okay, so for a number of you, it's like, to say this well, you know, and also just in the way that you can put something in, but also how someone else interprets it is another story. You could have a certain quality, trait, characteristic of your being that comes to become something completely different when merged with, right? Or when sort of interpreted through the lens of another quality, trait, characteristic of your own, or also perceptively, like how you perceive of that trait, or even that of another. So to say it this way as well, for a number of you, maybe you feel like, well, I have this really intense, you know, ability to also like thaw out my emotions, and that process is not always something that Thumper the rabbit would really like, you know, think lightly about. I'm hearing as well, like, just keep, you know, thumping through the night through. I don't know, with, by. To say it this way, that for a number of you, someone feels like they have even this need to have some sort of release here, cathartic. I'm hearing that, like, it could be related to their creativity as well, where they feel like, I'm not good at what I do until I totally, like, I destroy it, so, and then I redo it. So hold on. For a number of you, yes, you have perhaps this tendency to feel, not necessarily is this the case just because you're watching, okay, always remember that. Always a matter of your interpretation. If you feel that you resonate with it, whatever it may be, it might not be your own energy as well, it could be that of somebody in the environment. But for a number of you, it has to do with your singing as well. Like, maybe you feel like you're also working within a space or a program that in some way, like, it challenges the peaks and the valleys of your creative process. And it's like, what? I can't, like, feel comfortable to, like, claim my truth, even if it means that I'm not playing with all my heart, my soul, my intent in this moment. One second. That I'm not playing the real deal. Hold on. So somebody has, one second, they have something that they really feel they need to also discuss, and maybe they feel limited, or they feel like there is a lavish lifestyle that is somehow like compartmentalizing or somehow covering the true connection that they have with also their mediumship capabilities. Wow. So for a number of you, well, okay, maybe for a number of you feel like there's something that you actually like, it's always up to you, Scorpio, right? I cannot be the one to say like, yes, pursue this, or, you know, clap, even when, you know, the whole hallway hurts to walk down. I don't know what that's alluding to, but let's clear that. I can't tell you, right, Scorpio, like, also that something is right based on also how it's received or not, right? So to say it in this way, that I will never know that. Only you will know how something feels when you carry it out, actually, and at least maybe try it, right? I don't know what this is, so always, like, just take it as you will, right? I'm not saying, like, whatever this is, like, follow through with it or don't. I don't even know what that might mean, Scorpio, if that is something that you can follow through with, even. I don't know, Scorpio. But, you know, it's just channeling what's coming through. Maybe this is what someone's presenting to you. I'm just channeling what's coming through. So again, don't take what I say as, oh yes, this is the right thing, or this, in general reading, right? So always, it's always up for interpretation, and this is for entertainment purposes. I have to say that. Right, we have to say that. Gotta emphasize that. Also though, on a more metaphorical level, right? No one also knows, right? Like, also what hurts in the way that it does for you. Maybe, you know, it's like, well, I find what I love by way of realizing that I really feel so happy when I'm in a space like this, or in an environment like this, that I feel like comfortable in, I'm hearing as well. And then there are those moments where I feel the pressure of not being able to access that side of my personality. And so that also makes clear for me, right? Like the community as well. I'm hearing specifically the community that feels like it connects me to me. So the role of community here for Nuri perhaps is really important, where you realize like, okay, this is not like a community for the sake of connecting to others necessarily. It's also for the role that it plays in terms of the symbiotic relationship that I hold with myself. Inevitably, right? If I see my relationships as points of reflection for me to receive also aspects of my being more clearly, then let me be in a space that makes that space all the more real, so that I can see myself more clearly. For a number of you, you feel perhaps, let's just backtrack and say it this way, you feel something is not realistic. Maybe you have friends technically, or you're in a society, in a group of people, and situation, even socially, and there are standards, you meet them, I'm hearing you're cool. Okay, but quote unquote, and what is cool, right? Who can define that? But for themselves, right? So whatever it is, maybe you feel like, well, there is a standard, and I somehow perhaps perceptibly meet it. But, right, at the end of the day, if I feel like I'm burning, I'm hearing in ways that make me feel like I belong elsewhere. Wow, interesting. And that I have to save myself from the space that I'm technically, okay, happy in. That's history, right? That I'm hearing inevitably we rewrite. Okay, like to say in the way, like if some tower, let's just use the example of the tower here. If the tower told a certain truth, right? The same truth will be told a lie in time if it was not, okay, set up in such a way that would not tremble. Okay, I don't know what that's alluding to, but that's coming through here with the tower. Like the fable of the tower is that, or the adage, or however you want to say it, related to the tower, is that, you know, when you find the tower here in the spread, sometimes they say, you know, that it is actually like kind of like a ticking clock, right? Even if we start on, let's say 12, we will come back to that point of 12 and revisit that time yet again. You know, to say in this way that what we told ourselves about the space is not really necessarily what matters. If we told ourselves like, this works, okay, but if it really doesn't, over time, right, that will be told as well. Okay, like to say in the way, like every egg eventually cracks, like I'm hearing every egg eventually turns inside out as well. Russian doll system. Now, Scorpio, clear your energy. I'm hearing that specifically. Calm down, I'm hearing as well. If you feel like you're getting kind of uncomfortable at the idea of calling something out, again, I'm just channeling what's coming through. Maybe for whenever you come to this realization, you're like, well, why is it that I have trouble representing this aspect of my being? Now, for a number of you Scorpio, there's something that maybe even you're revisiting or reconnecting with, okay? And for a number of you, maybe it's a habit, okay? And maybe for a period of time you're like, well, I thought that I, like, you know, left that that show and the whole wheel that came along with it. I'm hearing that as well. Like, I thought that I looked away and I just, you know, I left them standing in the farthest lane from mine. Okay, that's interesting, because all lanes, right, eventually are, I'm hearing, parallel. I'm hearing that as well. All secrets actually eventually as well do come out. I'm hearing that as well. The moon upright, mirror the daughter cups, and the four cups in reverse. If we set a glass on the table, right, and the base of it, the foundation of it is sort of wobbly, you know, it eventually will not be hard to, I'm hearing, to break it down. I'm hearing the truth from the lies. Like, I don't know what that's about. Maybe this is you with you. You feel like, well, there is something that I want to work on. So what is the so-called lie that I tell myself that holds me from actually pursuing this interest of mine? And it could just simply be, excuse me, Scorpio, an aspect of your being, something that you're actually really interested in. It could be an ability of yours. Maybe for quite some time you told yourself that it's a problem. I'll give you an example, Scorpio, something that's coming to mind, and this came through early in the reading. I wanted to get to that. You know, let's just think about the element of water, right? It speaks of the role of empathy, right? That inevitably we all play on some level or another, depending on how it does manifest. That's a different story, but you know, take it as you will. Like, empathy that is not accessed, right, still manifests. It's just energy, and it will be, you know, kind of transmuted, channeled in a new way. Clear the energy, Scorpio. There's something that perhaps you coming down to, you realizing, well, the character is the character, but the story is what brings the character to life. If I have a certain ability, right? Let's say it is the ability to empathize to a certain level and degree, that can be considered, right, a certain character in a certain play. How I choose to allow that character to roam freely, I'm hearing as well, within the plot line that serves my highest good and that of also those around me, is the performance that I seek to represent. I'm hearing my wow, I'm hearing my orientation with. So for a number of you, whoa, Scorpio, this is something of a focus on your manifestation capabilities, the way in which you create, really coming up for review here. For a number of you, let's say it in this way, it's coming down to self-talk. You're getting real clear on obliterating the self-talk, the questions that you ask yourself as well, as follow-up to what you know to be actually your creative ability, like your ability, Scorpio. Like, you're like, I know I could totally do that, and then maybe you follow up that knowingness with like sort of like questions. I'm here, I'm just playing backgammon. I'm hearing that's what we like. For a number of you, though, it is to buy time. I don't know what that's alluding to with the Magician Reverse. This came through big time in the Sagittarius reading. So for a number of you, if you got a lot of Sagittarius, well, whatever it is, you know, you realize, well, again, like, the river goes round and round. Okay? Doesn't matter where I choose to jump in. Doesn't matter how many times I also relapse. It will come down to the same point of making me perhaps feel like there is an aspect of my being that I recognize in a certain way, and what it comes down to is my perception of it. So for a number of you, you're actually processing a certain aspect of your character, and it is difficult. Okay, Scorpio, perhaps depending on how you define it. Right? So if you look at it as like, oh, this is an issue and I need to, you know, fix it, well, then that is going to be an entirely, right, different file folder that we tell ourselves we need to open up, rather than, you know, well, this is a platform for me, right, to present myself through. And if I am honest with myself and promising only one thing, honesty, in that space of accurately depicting what it is, then I give the freedom for that aspect of my being, right, to feel itself through. So if you imagine aspects of your being as like sort of children, right, your inner children, your inner child, you know, do we actually allow them as characters that either sink or swim in the plot of our life? Like, are we going to judge, Scorpio, like aspects of our being, let's say, as justified or not, as problems that need to be solved, fixed, or ones that can be left alone? Like, I don't know what this is alluding to, take it as you will. It could, again, not be your own energy, it could be that energy of another. For a number of you, for example, you could have adopted an animal, and maybe, okay, there are some trouble spots. Now, anywho, let's backtrack. For a number of you, though, is a connection, even that you hold with another, and it's been a lot of zoning out. I'm hearing a lot of friend zoning, a lot of putting off. This is not, again, for everyone, perhaps for a number of you, but somebody's been really like playing, but it's not intentional. Let's say it in the way, it's not like I want to play games, right? And the game of life, right, is not to defeat on a soul deep level, is it? Well, take it as you will, but maybe someone comes to the point of feeling that way, where they're like, I can neither defeat nor distract myself from the direction of simply opening myself to this experience. And yes, it comes down to vulnerability. But for a number of you, it's interesting. We have the Son of Cups staring at the Daughter of Cups. She's since moved, actually. But the Son of Cups is now really aware of the Daughter of Cups. With the Son of Swords at the base of the Daughter of Cups, the Magician looking at the Daughter of Cups. So for a number of you, Scorpio, there's something that actually you feel like you haven't even been able to shake as much as you have tried. It could be vice versa. It could absolutely be reflective. You have a pair of Daughter Cups and the Son of Cups. Let's clear that. It's not for everyone. I gotta take it as you will. I'm hearing Riley. I'm hearing Storm. Okay, now for a number of you, it's something that you've been planning. You're like, I will come out with this. I'm hearing eventually. It's just a matter of time. Now, for a number of you, there are layers here. There is a Son of Swords. It's very complicated, perhaps, as someone may present it to be. And let's backtrack again. There is something, right, again, of a focus on the aspects of your being Scorpio as your inner children, and allowing the safe space, be that within yourself, that you allow yourself. And what is safe? What is dangerous? Take it as you will. Is it real even, right? Or is it perceptive? Is it observation, interesting, of perceived doubt? I'm hearing fear, or also faith. So I don't know what that's alluding to, Scorpio, but maybe for a number of you, like, you have a theory even of something that you feel may result of your character, or your characterization of something here. Like for a number of you, you're like, well, if I were to come out with that, then maybe that would happen. Is that like reality, or is that reaction? So even if, let's say again, you come out with something and it's your personal truth, let's say somebody reacts to that space, or there's some kind of community consensus that is reactive to that space, does that redefine the truth for you? Okay, so nothing really communicates anything but perspective at the end of the day, right? So can something be like also proved or not? So in other words, if you're finding that you're asking yourself, well, I want to communicate this, but how would they react? Is that really realistic? Is it really relevant? Right? What would it actually do if they were to approve, so-called, or disapprove of what it is that simply just is my reality? So can perception validate, Scorpio, your personal identity, is what I'm getting specifically, and be it as well your own. But for a number of you, this has to do with programmed. Well, let's clear that. So there's something for a number of you, you've been planning. Again, I'm hearing that way now, but for a number of you, this is, again, aspects of your being that you feel, it's my inner children. I'm hearing it this way, and I must give, again, I'm hearing safe space for them to reflect. I'm hearing to resemble their roles, their radio frequency. I'm hearing that as well. Interesting. So where is it, that these abilities, I'm hearing abilities have actually been challenged and misdiagnosed? I'm hearing that as well. I'm not a doctor. I'm not challenging any opinions here, Scorpio. Take it as you will. It is a general reading. But for a number of you, there is something that maybe even, like, it got to the point where you're like, well, this is something that I need to change. I'm hearing as well about my being with the moon here and the Magician. Now, in other words, it's like, do we take the voice, right? And I'm hearing filter it. Do we take like a sound? Let's say a certain aspect of your being is like almost like as a sharp sound that's emitted, frequency even, vibration. And let's say you emit this frequency, again, it's an aspect of your being, whatever it is, it's a certain even emotion, let's say, or a certain I'm hearing a tribal call, very interesting. Okay, let's backtrack now. Whatever it is, for a number of you, I'm hearing it's a test, also of your faith. I'm not sure whether those moon of right, which is reverse. They're mirroring, knighting one another, actually. Now, imagine that the sound is evoked. Let's say, imagine that the sound is released. Now, imagine, like, where that sound travels, should it be shared openly, freely, right? What would that sound do if we just, like, let that call, right? Sort of call itself out, its name out. Now, imagine that same sound, right? If we were to funnel it through, or even merge it with another, okay? Or even, like, let's say through a certain space. I'm hearing of conversation. Wow. So for a number of you, and I'm hearing community, let's clear that. For a number of you, there's something that it's like, well, when, you know, an animal, let's say even like a wild animal, is brought within a certain constricted space, like their behavior will inevitably change. Like if you take, let's say, a wild animal and you stick them in a room with 4 glass walls, they will go absolutely wild. Right? So, when you take that same animal and you place them in an environment that they're actually suited for, their behavior will completely change. It can, unless they got rabies. I don't know what that's alluding to. Okay, in which case there is another reason I'm hearing also for living. Now take it as you will. Like, everything is a gift. I'm hearing that specifically. I'm not saying anything Scorpio, always take it as you will, but it's just channeling coming through. So for a number of you, there's something that you feel, well, maybe it's the way I was raised, maybe it's the environment that curated my capabilities that caused me to feel like they were, I'm hearing elbows without grease on. I don't know what that's alluding to. Even, I'm hearing elbows without cuffs. Let's clear that. So somebody felt, maybe, and it could be self-talk, like thinking, well, what's the reason for why this, let's say this habit grew to this degree. So maybe for a number of you, there's something that just, it was like, it started out like sort of as something like maybe that you considered was a learned behavior. Who is to say that something is learned? Take it as you will. You know, is it reflected? Maybe for a number of you, you felt like you picked up on something even like somewhere, and then it was like you started to share it with others, and then it turned into perhaps like something that maybe it was a habit again that like started to talk on its own. I don't know what that's about. Like maybe something became like it actually was something that you felt maybe you could not handle or control. For a number of you, it is actually pressure. For a number of you, this is actually repressed passion, with the Magician and the Moon, with the Tower as well, and the Father of Pentacles. Like for a number of you, you're perhaps in an environment, it's quite simple actually, you're in an environment that is way too commercial for your taste. Then maybe this is happening in the space of also religion, or some sort of contractual space where you're like defined by some kind of legacy, and that really like you felt like that replaced your sense of autonomy with strings to a quartet that your cousins and their cousins and your so-called other cousins all learned to play with, like, and you're like, oh, that's not me. So it kind of like it redefined your door as one that doesn't open. What the fuck, Scorpio? Okay, and so perhaps in some way you're like, so I need to like dance around that door. So every now and then there is perhaps a lot of passion that may at times actually turn into rage. And if you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, right, there could be a lot of Mars, Pluto at play, and Mars and Pluto don't really mess around. On the higher octave and vibration of Scorpio, Mars and Pluto are incredibly powerful in a way that serves the highest good of all involved, to bring light and illumination, direction forward, to face things also head on. It is more challenging octave, okay, to deal with. It can be somewhat of a competitive, combative energy, and ultimately, right, at the end of the day, that is with yourself, Scorpio, right? If we find that we're finding difficulty even talking about certain things with others, how is it that we're talking about those things with ourselves in a certain way, even reflectively? So for a number of you, perhaps there is a lot of potential that you feel has been sort of masked, masqueraded. Maybe for a number of you, it's like a feeling I'm getting is like someone who works in like even in a really, really commercial industry, even in a conventional space, even I'm hearing real estate, and then it's like they realize like, oh, well, if I wanted to replace this with like my real passion, which is filmmaking, I'm hearing, for example, art, I'm hearing magistry as well. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing hieroglyphs as well with the Magician Reverse. Like, oh, like, I would be hopeless. Like, maybe that's what some society set up as even, like, a curated image. I'm hearing that for how creativity really works. Like, maybe for a number, you're like, oh, well, in order to be truly creative, I have to first create wealth and abundance, and then with that, I will be able to make the bunny hop around. What? The bunny doesn't need the basket with eggs to be a bunny. Thank you, though, very much. The bunny will find its, I'm hearing its rave regardless. So maybe for a number of you, like, somebody is actually, like, this passion and this creative energy is actually funneling through a stream of, I'm hearing stargazing, like someone is like, now they're going to like raves, they're turning to like, I'm hearing rumble, I don't know, like there's something, it's aggressive. Well, for a number of you, maybe there's this aggression that is kind of like revealed here. I'm hearing in the arena. I'm hearing as well, like, I'm even seeing somebody's like rough and tumble. I don't know what they're like. They're like in the glass house. I don't know. We're training with chimpanzees. I don't know what that's only to. And it's like, well, is that really what I want to be doing? I'm hearing that as well. Like, no judgment. Maybe that's what someone presents to them, or they're sort of reflecting on this. So like, is that really like the replacement for like my real needs? I'm hearing when it comes to revealing also my light, my creativity, my color to the world. So in some way it's like maybe they feel, or somebody's like, they feel like they're participating in someone else's also good luck. Like they're vicariously living through like performers or DJs or whatever it may be, like by going to these shows, but they're like, but I actually want to be doing that. So let's clear that. So for a number of you, there's something, okay, like you want, okay, now someone here has gone really competitive and it's to the point where they're like, this is not okay. I'm hearing that specific, they feel, that's how they feel. They feel like, I don't like the way that I grow gray hair, or not, depending on also who in my environment is like holding up like a bigger trophy than me. Like someone realizes that this is a test also of time that ticks to the end of the clock, and no one will be ready. I'm hearing to write up anyone to notice to make that story sound better than it was. I don't know what that, like somebody's like, look, this is not real, really real. Like whoever holds a trophy isn't really like the winner at the end as well. I don't know what that's about, but it's like, how do I feel in the moment? Like, do I feel tense when I'm talking about also my supposed subject of passion? you know, or do I feel relaxed? And anyways, so for a number of you, not to say that competitive nature doesn't have its place or is somehow wrong or unethical, but Scorpio, there's something of a feeling of realizing that I'm hearing your tires are I'm hearing growing thin. Hold on, let's clear this. Somebody feel okay, they feel like something is actually is tiring them out. It's existentially, I don't know what this is, like maybe you realize this like in a heavy state of meditation. Maybe you feel like, well, I'm not really doing what my moral, my intrinsic also mission statement and moral compass is kind of communicating for me, okay, to also share and to maybe even communicate about. So for a number of you, it's like I'm hearing you're a poet, you're a writer, you're a performer. I'm hearing you perform lip injection surgery. I don't know what that's about, Scorpio. But for a number of you, it's like I'm not the person also for this job. And if I need to do that, I'm hearing also one more time, I'm hearing I will punch my ticket right out of here and take the train to the end of the I'm hearing stargazing. I don't know what, Scorpio, let's go with that. But for a number of you, this could be a specific message. It definitely is, Scorpio. Okay, for a number of you, it's like somebody also feels like they're spending like also all this money to also like make someone feel satisfied that doesn't actually mean anything. So let's say it this way, Scorpio, maybe someone is actually pretty wealthy and maybe they have a relationship with someone, or as again aspect of their being, maybe for a number of you it's a relationship with their career, and they realize, well, I'm technically bringing in the cash, I am technically bringing also myself and my family, I'm hearing, to the Hall of Fame with all of these Hollywood graphics, I'm hearing as well that I'm producing. I don't know what that's alluding to. But I feel ashamed, I'm hearing as well. At the same time, I don't feel, this is not for everyone again, I'm hearing, I don't feel like I've really left. I'm hearing this lake, I'm hearing this house as well. I don't know what that's, I'm hearing 1950s Scorpio. I don't know what that's alluding to. Anyways, it's like I don't feel that this is really fair, actually, to anyone really involved. This is for a number of you, like you feel like even like in some way you're like, well, I'm giving to charity funds and I'm giving to my children and I'm changing people's lives, changing their lives, I'm giving them choices that I didn't have when I was younger. Isn't that the way that you change the world? Well, Scorpio, you know, how do you feel about what you feel you are changing, right? For better or for worse in someone's life. Like, let's say you give someone some extra change and you feel like, well, that changes things. Yeah, it changes things, but what does it change them to, right? I think really the answer here, Scorpio, for a number of you is like, what makes you feel, right? What are your values, ultimately, Scorpio? Your personal values. I don't care, like, about this big company that slices a big deal. I'm hearing of the pie and the promise with a number of other companies, charities, funds, whatever the heck that is. Scorpio, with you when you're in your room alone, you're looking in the mirror at yourself, you know, what is your personal vow? I'm hearing as well that you promise yourself, you're like, if this is something that I love, I'm hearing I can't live without it as well. You know, what does that mean, Scorpio? Is that, what does that mean for you? For a number of you, this has to do with children, no question, no doubt. Community as well. You know, at the end of the day, perhaps you feel like, if I'm not giving someone a reason to be someone for also someone else, I don't feel like I'm bringing them much. So for a number of you, this is also somebody who is like really, they don't have the chance perhaps to, they're not home. They're working like almost always, and um they've realized that reality is what you make it, and if you're not there to make it, be it those memories, are you really there? You know, it's like, I don't know, Scorpio. It's always you and how you perceive it, right? Maybe this is what someone feels. They fear this even, maybe. Like, well, I'm not there for my children. I'm paying all of their, you know, their here's and theirs, and, you know, the hers and his, and the it's and the they, and, you know, Molly wants to go on this vacation with Matthew, and Matthew has this truck he wants to, you know, order online, I'm hearing as well, to like travel with, and like it's this whole caravan thing, and they want to like surprise someone else on this other island, and then they want to like have this trailer that like tracks everyone down, and like this whole trip, it's this whole I'm hearing as well, like, it's like even like a vlog, like someone wants to start, whatever it is, a venture, strongly. And it's like, you know, if I like actually called in, I'm hearing sick. This is like, I'm seeing like kind of cheeky, okay, the way that someone may be kind of presenting. They're like, even if, let's say, I called in sick, it's funny because this person is like, I'm seeing in front of you, I'm hearing ghetto superstar, like they have a ton of money, alright, Scorpio. They're like, I can freaking afford it. But even if, let's say, I called in so-called sick, they're like freaking retired Scorpio, no one's calling in sick. To say it this way, let's clear that though, whatever. They're like, even if I sold all of my diamonds, I would have, I'm hearing party to attend. I'm hearing also pain. I'm hearing pain to portray. I'm hearing in the painting that holds meaning for me. Wow. For a number, you're like, I cannot call this love. Sorry, Scorpio, I have to say it. You feel, or someone feels, like they're also promoting someone else's life, you know, or lifestyle that they feel in the heart of their heart. It could be you with you, Scorpio, as well, where you're like, I'm just paying for pain. I'm hearing as well, I don't know what that is like. This is not actually giving me any sort of feeling of resurrection. I'm hearing that as well. For a number of you, is plastic surgery. I don't know what that's only to, but take it as well. For a number of you, perhaps you feel like even it's time to regenerate from the inside out. Maybe you feel like, well, I'm taking all, got the makeup on, I got the whole, the rings, the sweaters, I've got, you know, the Range Rover, I'm hearing as well. I'm hearing, well, that's over with. Totaled it. I don't know what that's going to do, but I'm hearing, well, we're talking about the Tesla now, you know. I don't know, Scorpio, no judgment, but maybe someone feels like anything and anything that they would want to have, they could. But when they call, I'm hearing the parents up at the end of the day. I'm hearing they don't remember the date. I'm hearing they're drunk. I'm hearing that as well for a number. I don't know what this is to. Could be in terms of Neptunian influence. Neptune being perhaps related to also illusion. Maybe they feel like, well, I'm not really addressing what also perhaps needs to be addressed. And I feel like I'm done. I'm hearing that specifically. Someone feels like they're moving forward and forward, but the forward that they move to is actually falling from beneath them. I'm not sure what those, I'm seeing like conveyor belt, and it just kind of like, it just kind of collapses into itself. I don't know what. So somebody feels perhaps like there is even a cycle or a routine, and they are very aware of this, whatever this space may be, that kind of it releases them, but then it readmits them to that same, so like something is not somebody feels it actually getting resolved. Now, is that to say that there's no actual answer? Of course not, Scorpio, right? That's why we're here. To realize, right, our inward truth. So for a number of you, someone actually knows that they have an ability, and that it is for a number of you related to razor sharp intuition. For a number of you, it has to do with community, working with the community. For a number of you, perhaps you're really drawn to work with the community, but it's like there is some sort of, I'm hearing branded elbow grease that you feel you need to work with prior to making the jump or the shift. For a number of you, this is with children. Maybe even there is a certain type of community that really moves you, Scorpio. It's like, it's something that I'm hearing you show up for, if I could say it in that way. Like, it's something that you do in your free time. Like, you don't need to be told that this was timed, that you need to be at this place at this time to do this one thing. It's something that you just naturally, you're guided also to places and spaces in this way that speak on behalf of these concepts. And so for a number of you, I'm hearing it is related to religious matters. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. Maybe for a number of you, it has to do with your certain charity that you're really, I'm hearing, has to do with something that you care for deeply. It's something that maybe you've even, like, I'm hearing you've remodeled your house in such a way to accommodate certain figures that speak to these figments of speech. I'm not sure what that's linked to here. Look at the Magician card. What does it speak to for you? But for a number of you, there's something that you kind of like, I don't want to say it's in hideaway, but it's something related even to your religion or your past, your history. It's something that maybe you haven't really, like, presented maybe quite yet. Not for everyone. Maybe for a number of you, this is something that actually, like, anybody who comes over for a play date very quickly realizes that this is your passion, I'm hearing as well. And maybe they've actually reflected that for you. They've told you a number of times. And again, for a number of you, maybe you're like, well, you know, how would I actually, like, hold that in my hand? I'm hearing palm. Psalm? I don't know. Psalm, I don't know what that's like. Anyways, it has to do with religion here. Perhaps for a number of you, the Magician in reverse. Now, for a number of you, it's something that is actually, like, I'm hearing like something that maybe, I'm hearing it's a bet. With a Magician, I'm hearing signal here with the Four Cups. I'm hearing Chief Cherokee, like somebody is like, they have this ability. It's an ability. It's even like a healing ability, and it changed their life. And they actually want to even, like, maybe open a fund, an organization, or a charity related to this, the recreation of this space. One second. This, I'm hearing commemoration with a Magician reverse, Four Cups reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse. I'm seeing, like, NBA. I'm hearing basketball. I'm seeing these as, like, basketball, Six of Pentacles, like trophies I'm hearing as well. For a number of you, there's something like somebody wants to even remodel the space up, or they want to, like, resell something, even, like, reinstate something. It could be vows. I'm hearing that as well. It's something that is related as well to children or the children. I'm not sure what that's alluding to, but it's something like in the Hall of Fame. I'm hearing that as well. Like, they're like, well, it's really special. It's very sacred. It's very sacred for someone here. They feel like, well, this is something that I would never replace. So how is it? And I'm hearing religious. It's like, how it could be a vow of some kind. I don't know what that's. Let's clear that. It's like, well, let me, like, and what is a vow? I'm hearing that specifically, but what is it that I actually reveal of the space, and what is the way in which I actually reveal it? So for a number of you, it's a promise actually that you've made with yourself. I'm even seeing somebody, like, in their teenage years, like they had, like, some kind of the work done. I'm hearing, like, it's even a tattoo. I'm hearing it's a triangle, or something about a triangle. I'm hearing something like an angel. I'm hearing an angel has guided me here. I'm hearing that on 21122. I don't know whether somebody's got, like, figure eight. They've got something that they will not talk about, like, also in just any setting. I'm hearing tiptoes. Okay. So for a number of you, it's something though that you want to, like, even, you want to represent, yep, you want to maybe even iconize, or you want to like even teach others through. Love and light to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy this prayer. I'm hearing through the will, through your will, like even it could be, well, take it as you will, interpret it, you know, as you do. It could be taken perceived in different ways, but this is something that perhaps you feel you want to even like communicate. One second. Through your actions, actually, like where it is that you invest your time and your energy, you're like, I want that perhaps to reflect or resemble my values. Love and light to you. Enjoy this period. Bye, Scorpio.